What's going on, everybody?
Chris, if I'm seeing your face, it means it's TransWorld Tuesday.
TransWorld
It felt
Tuesday.
like a Monday all day, and then happy hour struck, and here we are, all together.
It was the best reminder that it wasn't a Monday, and it sure did feel like a Monday, for sure.
It did. It did. It did. But it's the most Monday-ist Tuesday I've had in a very long time.
Very much so. We don't get many of those holiday weekends. How was your Memorial Day?
It was wonderful. I spent it on the baseball field. I don't know how else to say it. My kid had a travel team. My other one got to love on and explore and have fun with the wonderful, overly priced Airbnb we were supposed to be in, but that's okay. That's all right.
Rumor has it that maybe one of your kids has expertise with a wood bat, maybe have won something, possibly.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. So they did. They won their championship, and it was the first in a very long time. In fact, like longer than like anybody has history. They might have been like the first to win this title. And it's a big deal. Like the town's coming out to take pictures tomorrow. They're going to be in a paper. And then also, of all the things, my kid hit a home run. And so it's been, I know. He's a very talented athlete, and we are very lucky because it's a pleasure watching him. But yeah, I got to bake in the sun all weekend long, and got turned over when I was crispy. And yeah. So
extra zesty.
Yes. What did you get to do for the weekend?
I got a chance to help a very good friend move, and got to spend it in central Wisconsin with some really, really good friends, and got a chance to get out on the water a little bit. So that was
okay. That's good, because I was gonna ask. So like 2 weeks ago, we went from like just above freezing, to now we're at all right. Summer can be over. Let's bring on fall. It came very quickly here.
And I know we have similar weather, and everybody that's listening, we joked in like March that it could potentially snow at MHC.
Yes.
Have no fear, like we're back into the mid 80s, so it's going to be great.
For real, it's going to be great at the Nicole M. Ginsburg Convention Center all week long.
I love it. The city of Rosemont hasn't quite embraced it yet. But it's getting
there. It's going to be wonderful.
It's on the docket for their next city meeting. But
I can't wait. Which if history repeats itself, I might even be in town for. So I can't wait. I don't know who Donald is, but sorry, friend, it's over. We need updates. So my God. Well, so Chris, tell me about last week when you got stood up by Nicole.
And it was this awesome experience. It was great. No, actually, a shout out to Pandora and to Diablo and to Phil and the entire crew of Haunters Hangout. Jenny and I represented, and a little bit of Rich as well, represented at Haunters Hangout as we did our official MHC pre-show this past Thursday. It was a heck of an awesome time, but you were missed.
Listen, there are days that I love to pretend that like my life is this like easy going, like I just sit around all day and wait for TransWorld Live or for Haunters Hangout, which like completely honored to be on and whatever. But there are times that life just like smacks you in the face, and there's just like a whole bunch going on all at once. And that was one of those nights that, when you're just like panicked and you're just like, I'm stuck doing something and there's nothing else I can do right now besides this. And that's it. Like, even if somebody was to pass away, I'm stuck here. And it was one of those moments in life. And that's it. That's
totally.
And I also got a little birdie to call me in between baseball games. I was literally going from a tournament to the professional baseball stadium. And Tater calls me and he was like, hey, guess what? Signed you up for everything, not to worry.
Well, I was going to get to that. So because you weren't there and you couldn't, and I tried to defend you. I mean, there's video evidence of this. I tried to defend, but such Tater, Tade is very convincing. And apparently, breaking news, maybe to Nicole, that she has been signed up to be Tater's partner during the hot sauce competition. So.
Yes. I said, you know what? I'll be very lucky if I make it past the first round. But you know what? For Tade, for our good friend Tade, and for everybody that covered for me, because again, it's very rare that I miss things. But of course, I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I might go crying, screaming, laughing, the whole nine. And that might even be before the first taste, but we'll see. If nothing else, I will be known as walking out of my own convention center and maybe not even walking, being rolled out. Who knows?
You heard it here, folks, and confirmed by Tater himself in the chat. This is great.
I know. I love it. I love it. So since we last talked, there's all sorts of stuff going on. Chris, I don't know if you've taken a look, but behind the scenes, there's been a couple of us constantly updating the website. There's so much information on there. So make sure that you are staying tuned to midwesthunterscon.com/daily-events/. So I know our friend Robert's going to drop that over in the chat, but make sure you are checking it out because it is very, very important, and a lot of zesty content going on every single day.
And truly, to Nicole's point, it literally was updated from last night to this morning of new stuff. It is being updated all the time, and it is going to be your best resource right in the palm of your hand as you're walking around the largest show floor ever in MHC history.
Yeah, and like updates are happening like all the time. There's like a lot of times that I look off screen, and it's actually because I'm trying to make sure that I don't have more breaking news for everybody. And I actually, Chris, as I'm sitting here, I'm going, wait. There's more. I thought I'd given Robert everything, but if y'all stay tuned to the end of this broadcast, I'm going to give you a little teaser on something really awesome, and that is the release of our official after party cocktail.
That's huge news.
I know.
I know.
And it may or may not be zesty. We might be doing something a little different. So you're going to have to wait around and see. But we're definitely going to be shaking things up a little bit.
I like how you did that there. I like how you did that.
Yeah, you like that?
Hey, you know, some other news that maybe not everybody on the broadcast knows. So obviously the tribute store for MHC is going to be known as the Monstrous Marketplace. And one of those items that's going to be for sale is a special electric lemonade scent from Froggy's Fog just for TransWorld Live. Nicole debuted it last week, and guess what? Tater finally got his own copy or his own sample, and he's been loving it as well. So,
yeah. And so, there's a couple of people that are asking if we are going to show the breaking news image that I received. And Robert, I don't know if you have that. At some point, maybe you could show that about the convention center. I don't know if we're actually legally able to do that, but it was really funny. So I don't know. Chris, did you see it? You saw it.
I did.
Okay.
And
all right.
I love Alan's comment. If I could just divert for a second.
For sure.
Alan's comment, I'm going to have a long list written on my arm in Sharpie of all the stuff he's doing at MHC.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm just loading up a couple things for Robert here and sending some things over. But so bus number 2 after party. What's that? That's fake news. We'll talk about that later.
Bus number 2 after party. What?
Yeah, that's called brunch, Tater. That's called oh my gosh. All right. So we have so much that we want to catch up on. But Chris, the biggest breaking news is the number of days that we have left.
I couldn't believe it when I was assembling the notes today. Can you believe we are into the single digits? That's right, folks. 9 days until June 8th. Under 2 weeks. We only have one more show until the big show, but 9 more days until June 8th. So if you haven't signed up for something, hope and pray that you can get in because very, very limited space. So.
Yeah, no, and that's actually going to be one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit later is that I don't know if everybody remembers last year we had a little bit of a crazy surge towards the end where like all of a sudden like things were selling out. People couldn't get into parties. People are like, but I've done this for years at MHC. What do you mean? Well, friends, it's in a new space. It's in a new place. And if you haven't heard, it's a new convention center. But yes.
There we go.
We gotta do it. So yeah, at the Nicole M. Pittsburgh Convention Center, make sure you've got your tickets. Make sure you're ready to get in line because it was like line like TransWorld to get in the place on day one. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure you got all the things and the wristbands and all your parties already booked and ready to go because it's going to be one heck of an MHC that we are going to be talking about for years to
Oh,
go.
for the ages. And to prepare for this huge amount of people, we have doubled the amount of registration staff. All windows are going to be open. We are going to be ready to make sure that you are there to have the best time of your life and make memories for a lifetime.
Yes. Oh my gosh. All right. So, Chris, all right, we've got like this jam-packed show going on.
Yeah.
Like we have all of these friends that we've invited to like almost like our countdown party, right? Like it's our sweeps week and like baby, we're back. We're better than ever before. We've got all sorts of people. Someone's like possibly the coolest people in the industry. Who do we have on tonight?
We have a whole slew, and I love how you said it is kind of sweeps week for us because with 2 shows left, we want to make sure we're bringing you all of the faces and the personalities that you're going to be able to see and interact with right there on the MHC floor. So let's talk about some of these amazing people. We've got Tiela Halpin from Hell's Gate Haunted House and Zombie Army Productions. We've got Emma Von Zombie from Basement of the Dead and Disturbia Haunted House. Very excited for both of them. Carly Chavez. See, I can say her name right. Love you, Carly.
Yeah, you can. Look at you go.
From Massacre Haunted House and a whole lot of other things. We're going to talk to her. We are talking to Alex Oats and David Gottstein from Catacombs Haunted House. We're talking to them. But first, right out of the gate, we are talking to Ryan Visiguard from Woods of Terror, all the way from North Carolina. Boys and ghouls, please join me in welcoming, of course, Mr. Ryan Visiguard.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good. How are you? I can already see that you've got some fresh content hanging behind you ready to talk about. And
yeah, that guy. Oh, that guy.
That one. Yeah. Looks like he's pouring his heart out to you.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is great. This will actually be my first MHC, as well as doing a seminar. So it's pretty exciting for me.
Yeah. All right. So I know who you are. Chris knows who you are. But just in case the TransWorld Live Nation out there does not know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Ryan Visiguard. I live in Lenoir, North Carolina, but I work in Greensboro. I am the artist and head scenic director and prop builder guy at Woods of Terror for Eddie McLaurin. I've been in the business for about 32 years, entertainment as a whole, haunting probably about 28 years. Started out as a modular haunter. A little tidbit is my family is a circus family, so entertainment's always kind of been in our family. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So fun. That's so fun.
So much to unpack there.
Yeah.
So when somebody like yourself comes on and you have 32 years of experience, can we go back to the beginning real quick and say, how did you start? I know you were working with modular and mobile haunts, but what made you want to start? Obviously, coming from a circus family, I'm sure there was inspiration there. But
I wanted to get into Hollywood, really.
Okay.
I was an artist as a kid in high school. Met a really cool teacher that kind of inspired me to get more and more into it. Of course, when I was growing up being in entertainment, I kind of liked all the glitz and glamour, but I was always attracted to the more macabre, strange stuff. My mom blames herself because she took me to Cujo when I was 4 years old, so that might have had a little bit of a twisted mind there. But it started with the circus and just building up art. But then when it came to haunting, I didn't really get into it till I was about 17. I worked a little bit with the JCCs in our local area. Met a gentleman named John Resnick who happened to be doing a modular haunt in Sarasota, Florida, in a cattle barn. That's basically where you take 4 or 5 semis, you unload it, and you set a haunt up in 2 days, and then you start basically decorating. You've got basically a week to set it all up.
No pressure.
Yeah, right. No pressure whatsoever. And you just hope for the best, of course. And there's generally like 2 to 3 guys who basically build this whole haunted attraction in a week. And then we basically have 2 weeks to tear it down. We run for about, back then it was like 14 days. But that's really where haunting started for me. And it just started escalating from there. But I consider myself an artist who is a haunter second, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Like I take art very seriously. When I approach a lot of things that are happening within the haunt industry, I try to approach it with a more artistic mind. I look at things as like an installation piece when I'm installing or when I'm doing stuff.
Love
Um,
that.
I just want stuff to really catch people's eye. And of course, my art, I feel like, is more like a slap you in the face for a second, and then you can be on your merry way. Whereas you have some more subtle, different kind of artists that put their style and critique into things. I'm just kind of wild and a little messy and splattery. As you can see, I'm still covered.
I like it.
Love it. And you're getting a ton of love, especially from the Hops family in the comments here.
Oh, well, it's funny. When I first jumped into the business again, because I disappeared for about 10 years, I went and worked for a really small theme park in Boone, North Carolina, and they had a Halloween festival. So I kind of took over and did a lot of the shows and directing for their thing called the Ghost Train. But when I hopped back into haunting, I was kind of fresh. And I kind of started looking around, and of course, Alan has always grabbed my eye over the years. I mean, the guy's amazing. He can make anything out of anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of started idolizing him a long time ago, but never really had the opportunity to meet him or talk to him. And he happened to do the monster class. And so I grabbed the very first monster class and hopped my plane to Texas. And that's when I met the Hops family. And they've been incredible. They've been very good motivators. They've always been there for me and really tried to push me into what I love doing. So
That's awesome.
I love it. They are wonderful, wonderful.
they are. And Shannon's cooking, I'm still craving 8 years later, and I'm still having withdrawals from her steak.
Oh my
I dream
god.
of her steak. I dream of your steak, Shannon.
So Chris, this is just like, I don't know. This is just further solidifying that we need to go to Monster Camp. Like
100%.
It's a great experience. You get a little bit more one-on-one with Alan, and you get to see some of the techniques that he throws at you. And to be honest, when he knows that you're at a different level, he pushes you a little bit harder than everybody else. So he's really good at individualizing people. So.
Well, okay, so I'm going to bring my watercolors and hope that he pushes me to excel at meet my numbers, because that's where my skill level's at. So
I love this fun fact here from Shannon that Ryan was the very first Monster Camp student.
Woo!
Wow.
Awesome.
So
That's
yes,
amazing.
yes. It was like I said, it was really exciting, and for a very first one, you couldn't tell that they were just putting it on. I can tell you that, right? He's been in the business so long that it's like he could do it in his sleep. So it was a great experience. I wouldn't take it back for $1 million.
Is bus 3 having steak? That's been a question.
I dream of the steak.
Well, you're also getting some additional love from Chris Roosh and, of course, Pandora from Hunter's Hangout.
Oh, Pandora. I love Pandora. She's such a wonderful soul.
I know. Oh, my gosh. All right. So, listen, there is so many things that, like, I want to unpack from your story here.
Okay.
I have a note, though, and I just need to know. So, when you said John Resnick, are you referring to John from the Goo Goo Dolls?
Not at all.
Okay.
This gentleman does definitely not look like John from the Goo Goo Dolls.
Okay, well, we just both Tiela and I needed to make sure, because I wanted to hop back to that point since we were hopping all over the place.
That was an important one. Let's just make sure no Goo Goo Dolls were involved in these
because the entire
antics.
broadcast was about to change directions because I had a lot of questions. That's okay. We're gonna get back on this train and back talking about about art. Really,
These are the important questions.
Yeah.
This is why you come.
Alive.
I love this. I love it.
Yeah, well, we've got to make sure we make that distinction, So
Yes. Okay, so super important.
Yeah.
This is your first MHC. What are tell us everything that you're going through your mind. We're only a couple of days out at this point. Are you excited? Are you nervous?
There's a couple things. I'm nervous, of course.
Okay.
Doing a seminar, not talking to a large crowd or anybody in years, you know what I mean? It's been a while since I've actually addressed a bunch of people. I used to teach classes and stuff like that, but it wasn't anything extravagant like this. So it's very challenging upstairs because it's, you've really got to work up the nerve to get in front of people, and you haven't done it in years. So of course you get nervous over that. And of course for me, I think just getting to see and hang out with some of the some of my idols. I mean, like I said, I came into this scene 5 years ago, and nor did I think I'd be standing and talking to Alan, or, being addressed by Ben Armstrong, or Eddie saying, "Hey, I need you to get over here and start building my haunt for me." I mean, this is an amazing experience for me, just coming out the gate kind of after a 10-year hiatus. So just the experience overall, getting to know people and getting to know our industry's leaders, and just being a part of it, just the experience itself. So I heard it's more of a party atmosphere, so it's going to be exciting to actually be able to have conversations, whereas, TransWorld's a little more business. So
yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to put it.
You have quite a story on how you came up through the industry. Do you have any advice for anyone that's listening that kind of says, I want to be where you're at? I want the next Eddie McLaren to look to me to do something. What advice would you have to anyone that's up and coming?
It can be rough when you're in your younger years and you're just getting started in this business. I think a lot of people, you've got to learn to have a thick skin and be able to take criticism very well. As I've gotten older, I think I've gotten over the ego. I used to have an ego. I used to be like, no, I don't want to do that idea. No, that's dumb. That's stupid. It's more about like the show. I think focusing in and really homing in on your skills and bringing your quality of art into it. And just, I'm 44. I'm just now getting noticed. I mean, it takes time, and it takes time for people to see your skills and how serious you are and how much you have a love for it. So my best advice to up and coming artists is just keep plugging away. And I swear I'm a perfect example of if you try hard enough and you really push yourself out there, that you can do it. You can be part of this industry, and you can make people impressed with your work and really put yourself out there. So you just got to put the work in.
Amen.
I love that. I feel
Good
like
advice.
I feel like I've just watched a Hallmark movie.
Well, see, like I said, I can get teary eyed over it. Like it's true. Like I said, it's been an incredible 5 years coming up. I didn't think I would be where I'm at today, and being asked to come do a seminar. So the recognition is fantastic. Exactly. So it's overwhelming at times, but I'm excited and I'm ready to take on the challenge and be a part of it all.
I love it.
Well, we do show you, let's talk about those seminars. You actually have two that are a part of, and let's kind of go in chronological order. Okay. Both are happening on Sunday, June 11th. And the first one, to start our day off, is actually one of our free seminar series. And you are heading up a session that is called Use What You Got, the Art of Junk Haunting.
Yep. So for me, junk haunting is just, I want to go out there and just teach people how to use and utilize materials that are around them. So, where to hunt this stuff down at, the best places to look, how can you utilize these different tools that are around you that are discarded, broken props, all those kind of things. I'm going to really try to show them some examples of how, lately, like I said, I'm talking about these robot guys. I'd like to try to show them a little bit of how I create it, where I get the stuff to do it, how fast and easy it can be once you start to get into the idea that, like, when you look at a blender, it's not a blender, it's some kind of tool and crazy and contraption if you added a little piece of this and a little piece of that. So
this could easily be a very chargeable seminar, because this sounds amazing. And to Alan's point, Alan just dropped in the chat right now, this is great that it's accessible and it's free to everybody. You just got to get there to claim your seat.
I'm really excited about it. I think they'll be shocked at what they can get from it. For me, like I said, I'm going to try to touch on a lot of the things that I give my pamphlet out about, but I think realistically, I'd really like to just show them some of the techniques and dig in about my psyche while I create something in front of them, or they're a part of it,
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel like singing this song, like I'm literally like writing it down to make sure that I'm going to be there, because I've got a pretty crazy schedule. But it's like I'll be there. Chris, you and I feel like we need to be there to experience this. Like,
hey, come check it out. Like I said, it should be a blast. I'm really excited and really pumped to do it. So
We'll be there. We will be there with bells on.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I know, right? I'm gonna be singing that forever. Like, I can't help it. And now the big question is, will you be at the TransWorld live after party?
I will try. I'm not the biggest partier, believe it or not. And I'm an old grumpy man. I like my sleep, especially with the seminar. And if any of these bigwigs start popping in, I'm going to be like so nervous. So it's like, I will try to pop by for like 5 seconds. Hey, how's it going? Night. Love you guys. Party, party, party. And then I'm going to go to bed.
Okay, I get it. No problem. I get it.
It totally makes sense. And obviously all ties in to our question earlier about that advice to anyone that kind of wants to excel their career in haunting. We're super excited to see you on a panel of very, very top people later on Sunday. So this is, again, Sunday, June 11th from 11 a.m. to noon with, some household names. I don't know, like, Chris Stafford from the 13th Floor Entertainment Group, and Mike Quill from Fear Town, this guy, Ryan Visiguard. I don't know who he is.
He must be new.
Yeah, I'm kind of new.
Teddy Summers, and then of course Ellen Hops is moderating the whole thing. The session is called "Making Haunting a Career."
It's like it's like Christmas for me. I'm just excited that I get to be asked by Alan how I got into it and what I love about it. So,
do you ever? Okay, and I'm just gonna ask this because I totally do. I get this a lot, even on this show. Just like get this imposter syndrome where you're just sitting back and like, the young kid in you is like, I'm meeting all my favorite celebrities. I'm sitting on a panel with them right now.
See, what's great is I'm like in this little box, so you can't see my hand shaking or me like shivering, right? So you get to see this really confident guy, right? Hey guys, how's it going? But meanwhile, I'm like,
You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. Well, this 2 wonderful sessions, obviously one that is free and one that has just like the rock stars of the industry, and awesome that you are a part of that so that you can bring that progression.
I promise to everyone who will have a hangover, you'll still have fun. You can still come to my class at 8:30 in the morning.
I love that. I love that disclaimer. Like, and now I'm like, all right.
I promise you can just sit there and stare and you'll still be entertained.
All right. We're holding you to it. We're holding you to it.
Love this. Ryan, we know you've gone, this is your first MHC, but you've gone to TransWorld for a number of years. What about these conventions makes you love coming to them and being a part of them?
Well, of course, one, community, being able to talk to a haunt that's from California, being able to talk to a haunt that's from London, being able to haunt owners from Canada. Community is number one. But I think for me, number 2, it's a nice, I'm going to curse here. It's a nice kick in the ass. TransWorld's, for me, it's like, all right, game's on. It's time to get serious. Let's get what we need. Let's start doing this. That's what TransWorld is for me. TransWorld's a big kick in the ass to say, it's time to get shit in gear, because you get to hear all these other people talking about what they're going to do for the year. And it's just an exciting time to basically get your ass in gear.
Amen.
I love it.
Amen.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, finally, last but not least, this is one of our favorite questions to ask.
Yeah.
Why do you do this? What makes you love the Halloween and haunted attraction industry so much?
The love of art, number 1, just being able to create, and sometimes the ability to have the freedom to create and not be tethered per se by whatever outside sources are going on. And then I think for me, haunting is as close to Hollywood as you're going to get. If you don't want to sit there and be in the hustle grustle of Hollywood, if you don't want to sit there and deal with hurry up and wait, because that's what Hollywood is, it's a hurry up and wait game, then haunting is the next best thing. You get to do lighting, you get to do sound, prop building, set design. I mean, for a young artist, it is the perfect industry if you want to taste a little bit of everything.
I love it. Could not have said it better myself.
Love it. Love it. I don't know if you're aware, or we'll kind of rephrase this question here. We had a question from Erica there. Are mimosas available in Ryan's class? We could also alter that to say, are mimosas accepted or allowed in Ryan's class?
I don't make the rules up, but I'm not going to say anything if I see a drink on the table. That's just, I'll be too busy teaching the class. I don't have time to worry about what you're doing.
BYOB.
Yep. I love that. I love
Oh my gosh.
All right, Chris, have we gotten to the part where we get to our favorite part, where we get to give something away with Ryan?
We love this. We love this. So all throughout our shows, we definitely want to give back to all of you for your time and all of your loyalty for being a part of this. And Ryan's here, so we might as well do something fun with him. On behalf of TransWorld, we'd like to give away one surprise ticket for free admission to the Saturday night MHC costume party.
Well, that's a good deal. I'm
Is
down
that
with
a
that.
good deal?
That's a good deal.
To do that, we need to see if you've been paying attention to Ryan's interview here. So, what do you think, Nicole? The first one or the second one? What should we go with there?
Let's go with the second one.
Beautiful. Okay, if you were listening to Ryan's interview, his very first haunted house, what city did Ryan set that up?
So you're going to answer MHC and then the city and state, if you can, if you remember. We take guesses as well.
It's first person we see, and Ryan's going to help us by looking at the chat there and call it out if you see somebody before us. Good guess, Kyle. That's where he's at now, but his very first one when he started his career.
Oh, this is tricky. Come on. You can do it, somebody.
My basement.
My basement.
Come on, it's a free ticket.
Yeah, I know. It takes a second for things to get going. There's often times that Chris and I both sit here and we're like, everybody left.
There's a little delay.
You need that da na 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 da na 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 na.
Wait, is that the Foo Fighters version? Just kidding. Just kidding. I will tell you, it was south, at least south of where I live,
and south of where he lives now.
Yeah.
Not in Chicago, not in North Carolina. These are good guesses.
It's very sunny. Very sunny place.
It is.
Very sunny.
Some may call it the Sunshine State.
Not
take
Texas
it.
nor Philly. But Philly is south of me. Ooh.
We're getting closer, Kyle. We're getting closer. Yes. So we can't confirm Florida.
So it is in Florida. Yes. So let's name some cities in Florida.
Yeah.
Think between St. Petersburg and Fort Myers.
Oh,
there you go. Somebody pop up a map real quick.
It's a huge city. You could fly to it from most airlines.
Yeah.
It's not Orlando. It's on the coast.
It's close. It's about an hour and a half from Orlando.
Oh.
There we go. Wait.
I knew he was going to get it. I knew he was going to get it. Fast fingers, Courtney McIntyre over there has guessed it. And it is, in fact, Sarasota, Florida. This is a great.
Awesome.
So our good friend Courtney
is
watching every single week. And he has, in fact, won. I don't think it's about every week. But I do think at this point he has won enough tickets to bring his entire hardworking team.
Yes.
To the ball.
That's fantastic.
It is. It is. So shout out to Courtney.
Bring them all. Let's make it a big party.
I know. Bring them all. Let's go.
Love this. Courtney, we got some names to figure out. Congratulations to you. We've got your information. It auto suggests when I start writing.
It does. Courtney just like auto fills you in our show notes.
It's like, oh, that guy won again. Okay, great.
Hashtag top fan. Yeah.
Ryan,
I love it.
We love that you're here. Definitely go see him. He's got 2 classes. One is free, so you absolutely have no excuse. His booth is 2931. Of course, he works for Woods of Terror, woodsofterror.com. Go see all of his amazing stuff. Ryan, anything else you want to say to the fans before we see them in just about a week?
No, I'll just reiterate. I promise you'll have a good time with a hangover. I promise.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Love it.
So
But I thank you guys. I think it's great what you guys do. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in person, man.
Oh my God.
I love it. Ryan, thank you so much for
Thank
spending
you
some
so
time with us
much.
tonight. And I cannot wait to see you in just a few short weeks.
Cannot wait.
Wow.
Thanks, brother. Safe
See you
drive.
guys.
Love him. He's the best.
I
He's the
know.
best.
This
Oh
is
my
so
gosh.
fun.
Yes. Yes. See, and we got to switch it up. We got to make sure for those that are paying attention to the class, so to speak, you get a little bit of reward, and credit to Courtney again, because if you're friends with Courtney, you're going to be coming to a lot of parties.
Yeah, you are. Stick with Courtney. He knows where to be at and what to do.
Very nice. Very nice. Nicole.
I'm having a lot of fun, and our show has really just started.
Oh my gosh. We're not even close to halfway through. So
yeah. All right. So, Chris, but wait, there's more. All right. So I am going to quickly jump to one of our announcements. I don't even think Robert's ready for this, but I am just so excited about this announcement. So I'm just going to get it out there. We have something that normally we would say zesty, but it's very, very tasty. And so we're going to drop this bombshell right now. Are you guys ready for a sneak peek? Like last week, we gave you the sneak peek of Electric Lemonade, which is our signature scent that will be available at the Monstrous Marketplace, along with our friends Pierogi's Fog, which
Woo!
Tater did in fact get a sniff of this as well. And I have to tell you, I don't know if you guys can see that, but like you can't see the top of mine because I've already used it so much. Truly, absolutely love it. However, breaking news, hearing it from the source first, guys, we have pictures from our good friend Naomi over at Chocolate Treasure, who is in fact working her like little fingers off to make sure that these are all ready to go. But take a look at these sneak peeks. Robert's got 3 pictures here of the process, and this is the prototype. It's not fully painted, but that's what it's going to eventually somewhat look like. But as the painting process goes, take a look at these. And of course, if you didn't know about the treasures, Naomi, I am sure, is got a little treasure inside that heart for all of us. So this is your note, your time to remember that this is an exclusive. This is only available at the Monstrous Marketplace at MHC. And I feel like I can taste this photo. And like it is literally a work of art. And only those in attendance in line at the Monstrous Marketplace will be able to get a hold of and snag one of these absolutely delectable, delicious, wonderful.
Wow.
MHC. I know. It's great. I can't wait. It's edible fingers. Direct from the owner of the convention center herself. Exactly.
Wow. Naomi, thanks for sharing that. Oh my gosh.
And like this is like, I mean, let's be real. It's food. Yes, it is edible finger food. So again, she has been like working so hard on this, and it's time sensitive and all that. And I just got to give her so much credit for getting this to us all the way around and making sure that it's ready to go so we could show on tonight's show. And so wow. I love it. Love her. Love all the work. I cannot wait. It's because I feel like I can taste it from here.
Seriously. I think the question has to be like, how long will it stay on the shelf before it's not edible anymore? Because like you want to taste it, because I know all of her chocolate. I've tasted her chocolate. Yeah. It's amazing, but you also don't want to like ruin the artwork.
No. So I have a word. You ready? Mm-hmm. It's you snap a picture, you take it to Walgreens, you buy a frame from the dollar store, and you set it on your thing, and you can be like, this is just one time that I had this epic chocolate treat just from MHC. Follow me for more.
Smart.
Because guess what? I'm still regretting the fact that I have a can of Pepsi from the 1996 Woodstock that I never drank.
Oh my God.
Really, nobody knows. Nobody cares.
No,
but that Pepsi's still in there.
Call the Pawn Stars, because that's got to be worth something for sure.
I wonder. Right? My luck will like explode somewhere, like right beforehand. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. So we'll show those pictures again later on in the show, just because I want to see them again. But breaking news. Crazy. So close.
Agreed. Facebook user Naomi and her team are very talented. Yes.
Absolutely. So you'll want to eat the heart surprise inside. Ooh, I cannot
Ooh.
wait. I wonder if it's zesty.
I know. Is it going to be more like gummy or gusher or?
I know. We'll have to see. We'll have to
Okay,
see.
that's where the surprise is.
Yeah. All right. So wait, there's more. Chris, tell us who's next on TransWorld Live.
Beyond excited to have these two gentlemen. We got a chance to catch up with them at TransWorld, right at the TransWorld Live booth. We have them live right now in our studio. Of course, we are talking about Alex Oats, David Gottstein from Catacombs Haunted House. What's up, guys?
What's going on? How you guys doing?
Good.
We're doing great. How are you?
Doing good.
Yeah. I know that background. You guys are live from the haunt.
Yeah, of course. We actually had a meeting today too on top of it for MHC, so perfect timing, you know.
That's amazing. That's amazing. We're hitting you just at the right time, all the way around.
Now, real quick, guys. Nicole, we have some important business here because they were privy to this whole thing. What's your stance on this whole Malort thing? Like Kevin Bigsacki and others, you're Chicago natives. You actually live in the city. Nicole is not a fan. We got to get this right off the way. What's your stance on this, Malort?
Well, I know I have a different stance than Dave. I mean, I'm born and raised Chicago. I live by the hot dog, so it's like, Chicago handshake's kind of my thing. Old style Malort. You gotta love it. I mean, I work in the industry too, so it's just like every now and then you just take that Malort shot. You just got to do it. It's the, proud Chicagoan in you,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Gasoline, so.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
No.
Right.
Just a no.
We like to call it. We like to call it tire fire over here.
Oh my God. Do you know, I have a sneaking suspicion though that we might want to make sure that our hotel has a surplus of it because we've talked about Malort so much that everybody's gonna be like, let me just get it over with.
Honestly, if you reach out to Jepsons, they might do something like that. They're really cool guys. They might supply a good amount,
Chris.
Nicole, you were just reading my mind. We got to get Steph involved. Yeah.
I think at this point
they love shooting out promo for stuff, so I'm sure they'd be.
Yeah.
Could we make a potential fourth surprise cocktail? Never mind. We're diverting too far.
Yeah.
Guys,
oh my God.
Super happy you're here. And we've known each other for a very, very long time. I know Nicole, and you've not known each other as long. I'm super excited to have you on the show because you are one of the oldest continuous haunted attractions in the country, and certainly in the Chicago market, being in business, operating for over 40 years, which is no small feat. Very, very awesome. Before we dive into all of that, because we got a lot of stuff to unpack and talk about, how did you guys get into the industry?
Well, I mean, this is our baby. I mean, we never left this community here. Me and Dave both started when we were in high school. In Chicago, you need service hours. I'm sure other places too when you're in high school, and you kind of don't want to do it, and then someone comes along like, hey, you can be in a haunted house and get service hours. You're like, I don't even care about the service hours. I want to be in a haunted house. So we kind of started there, and over 10 years later, it's kind of just it's kind of just fell into our laps. We dedicated ourselves to the craft, either acting or behind the scenes, and doing everything. I know you know that, Chris, and it just it piles up to the point where we're at now.
Yeah, I think it does. It definitely, you take on one thing, and then it's like, oh, maybe I'll do this, and it kind of snowballs to now we're running the show after.
So I knew I was in danger when it was I was still an actor and it was February. I'm like, oh, I could do this to my costume.
And that's where it all began. Yeah. So, all right. So tell us a little bit about your actual haunted attraction. For those that don't know, what type of haunt is Catacombs? And also, you guys are a little more unique. You kind of have a special place in the industry.
Yeah. So we are one of the only charity haunts that are kind of left around in, as far as I know in the area. We take place in the basement of a church. where it's been for pretty much the whole 40 years of the run. So very unique in that regard of, a Catholic church being turned into a place of, horrors or over. So you wouldn't expect that, but it just started as a small thing that some of the employees, workers, parents, they just wanted to start it up one day. And I think it was just a small little haunt they did for the kids, for the school. That was almost 45 years ago. And it just, each year, I think it gained steam and momentum, and the community just loved it. They ate it up. They, kept coming back for more. And as those other haunts closed down, other charity haunts, other church ones, I think with us standing tall, it's really brought in more of that clientele, more of sponsorships, and just, the recognition that, we're still here, we're still open after all this time, still in the church, basement of the church.
And definitely a household name in the community. I mean, you either say St. Pascal's, which is our original name, or you say Catacombs Haunted House. It's like, oh yeah, like I went to that when I was in high school, and then now my kids go to that, or they volunteer. So it's just like, for this community, it's a very big thing that everybody holds dear to their heart, because they either went there, volunteered, or were the kids part of the school that were getting funded by us.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we're a non-for-profit. So most of our money that we accumulate during the hunt goes back to the school. Yeah. So it's, all that money is going right back into the community, to the school, to the children, to further their education. So, that's another aspect that I've always loved. I'm a teacher myself, so just being able to do this and, know that money is going to benefit something, great, something for the future. I think that's another, aspect of our hunt that, is a little different than other ones, but, makes us, unique in that way.
Yeah, I love it. That's incredible.
It is not easy to do, certainly in our climate, to have a business survive for 10 years, or a haunted house survive for 10 years, let alone for nearly 45. And if I can, just for a second, because I think all of us have been to some sort of a nonprofit or a basement. And I don't think that word does it justice, because I know it's technically the basement, but more for Nicole, because I really want to show her sometime. These are truly like the tunnels that go underneath the school and the church. Yeah. Okay, they truly do feel like catacombs. So like, I think the illusion of basement, even though it is a basement technically, I just want to, I want to give you my own personal experience. Like it is dark. It is very, very close space in some areas. The scenes are nitty and gritty, and they are in your face, and you are fully immersed into them. But it's not like a church social hall basement type of situation. I want to get that concept out of your mind. You are literally going into the bowels of the beast, walking right by the furnace, the smells that have been there for 100 years. You're a part of that.
I'm in.
Everything that we have built is actually, really built into the concrete of the church that's been here for.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it there all year round?
Yeah, we are so fortunate enough, because we know haunts. We're friends with haunts. They have to build up, tear down every year, and we are so fortunate that it stays up. So you're wandering around, you end up down there, you don't know what's down there, you might get spooked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anytime new employees for the church or school come in, it's like kind of one of the first things, like,
hey, Eleanor, I can already tell, like, the person.
Yeah.
Hey, Eleanor's new here. Eleanor, the breaker box down in the basement needs to be flipped.
There's a lot of wiring down there that goes to the phone lines and the internet, so their work has to be done down there. So I'm sure employees down there, people don't know, and they're like, what is going on down here?
You have like a worker or someone, some sort of tradesman come by and try to fix something, and it's a newer staff member, and they don't know what's going on, and all of a sudden here goes the electric chair. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. Obviously, that's one of the fun things about your establishment is you don't have as much to set up exterior wise, because you do get to kind of keep those basements set up. And as someone who has personally experienced through a lot of your years, it's amazing to see what that progression has taken, hold since you first started. And I think we would be remiss if we don't mention Jason at this time. Jason is a huge part of your family. And I just really want to kind of set this up so that you guys can talk about him. He was the first person that I ever met when I first walked there and said, hey, I'd love to talk about promoting your haunted house. And Jason is just one of the most kindest and genuine people, and he brought the party with him. And every time he had a new innovation or a new concept, I'm curious about to know the backstory and to know, some of his challenges in working with administration, but he always had the next biggest idea and wanted to make that haunt successful. And no different than you both said, to do it for the community, to give back to the school, to give back to the kids. So I just want to give a moment. You guys were so kind to honor me with a tribute shirt to Jason with his face on it, and he's such a wonderful human. But can you talk a little about what Jason's done for both of you and for that whole community?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can speak for the both of us. I mean, it was like an uncle to us, I mean, he like took our taste for what we were doing as teenagers, and he helped us expand on that. I mean, you talk about somebody that has the most imagination, the most drive, like does not stop thinking about haunted house. Like we both of us combined can't even live up to how much he would just live and breathe the haunted house. And he'd call you randomly and be like, "What'd you think about this? What do you think about that?" And he's always reaching out to people. And he got his start at another haunted house, another church haunted house in the area, and he met Kevin Marks, who still works with us here, and
Yep.
He liked the product, and he was a driving force for us here. I have to say, if it wasn't for Jason, I don't think we'd be standing here today. It's really hard to run this haunt. It's not easy. It's like I said, we're 100% volunteers. None of us. This is all our free time. And Jason is the drive and the heart we all have. If that big guy wasn't there, I don't think I would be here. He set a precedent that me and Dave are definitely trying to follow. But I mean, it's hard to follow in Big Uncle's footsteps. He made this place what it is, and even though he's gone, he's still making this place what it is to this day. I mean, we do not take any thought out of consideration that is his forethought behind it.
Almost pretty much we're carrying on his legacy of what he built here for the 20 years that he was here, and just hoping that we can be half the man he was with the haunt. Just the ideas and like Alex said, he would just call you up any time of the year and just be like, hey, let's talk this over, let's talk about this one. So it became about more than haunted house. It became friendship and taking us under his wing just to get us to this point. And obviously he wouldn't have wanted us to have this point so quickly, and we weren't expecting that, but just kind of rolling with that and knowing that he has everything set up for us to succeed, and we're happy that we can continue.
Well, a huge tribute from all of us at TransWorld to Jason Suzuki, to his family. Obviously, he's made a huge family with you, and it's awesome to see the product of that work. As you mentioned, and we're even getting some love for Jason in the comments too, so that's pretty awesome. Even Derek Seltzer says, this is the last haunt on my Chicago bucket list. So that's pretty awesome. You guys are 100% volunteer. How many people do you have? How many staff members? How many crew?
I'd say about 40 to 50. I mean, core members is throughout like the main course of the year is definitely more closer to 15. There's about 15 of us that meet year round and work on it, whether it be construction, promotion, or just all the other logistics that go into it. But I mean, we take those 15 core members, we take about 2 to 3 months off, and it's with the ball rolling again,
And it's nonstop doing these things in our free time when we have free time at work. Whatever it is, sometimes it's like, okay, we gotta get this done, but also gotta get this done. So
I'm calling Dave at work all the time.
Yeah.
I'm stepping out the office. I'm like, hey, I got an idea, So it's a constant wheel in motion. You know, sometimes it slows down, but I mean, it definitely speeds up once we get towards August, September. But I mean, like
Sure.
we're us 15 core members, and they're we're thankful for all of them. Without all these core members, I mean, a lot of people that are families too, families of the school, not even families of the school. Like I'm someone that didn't even go to school here and everything, so it's a lot of dedicated people that we're just so grateful to have, and not only to have volunteering for us, but we get to call them our second family. And I think that's the best part about that core group is that we drive each other, blood, sweat, and tears, laughing and yelling, we get it done, and that's what being a family is all about.
Now, I've got a question coming in from the audience, none other than Sir Alan Hobbs. What percentage of your haunt do you change each year?
So every 2 years we do a new room. That's kind of the main basis we go off of. Other than that, I mean, every year each room gets updated, whether it be props, whether it be damages, because we are very prone to our stuff getting damaged. We have a lot of passionate people down in the tunnels. But I say anywhere from a good 20 to 40% changes each year. And we the way our haunt's set up, I mean, we're in one big circle. So a good thing that we try to do is we try to change the flow, and whatever new we add to each room, it kind of is almost a new experience each time. We have a lot of people that they come in and they're like, oh, it's going to be the same as last year. It's like, it's a whole different haunted house. So they come out at the end of the year.
And we, I can count as many times that people go through and wait, wasn't that on the other side? Or I don't remember that room. It's just in our heads, we're thinking we know exactly where it was. But just kind of illusion of, things aren't as what they seem down there. So
Love it.
And the entrance come out too. So a lot of times they'll come out the same door and they're like, wait, did I just come out the same way? How did that just happen? So
it's like a haunted house inception.
Yeah.
It's a great feature, actually, if I can mention that. But now, obviously, you guys were at TransWorld. Before we talk about your experience there, I think one of our questions that we popped up with is, where do you guys get your inspiration? How is your battle plan when you go to TransWorld? Obviously, you're dealing with a charity and a nonprofit haunt where you're looking to help others. And there's many charity and nonprofit haunts that are listening tonight saying, hey, we could learn from what you guys do. How do you game plan for new rooms and for new creations and things like that?
So going back to Jason, and what's always stuck with me is one of his sayings is, yeah, we can build that. Him and Kevin Marks were always on that. So I think that's kind of inspiration I took up as looking at all these things at TransWorld and really dissecting whether it's a prop or lighting or a design element and breaking it down to its core. How can we make that, maybe even if it's different? Even going back to last speaker, kind of the trash haunts that that really resonated with me. It's we have what we have, and how can we use it? How can we incorporate that into this room or that room? So a lot of the things that we have down in our tunnel, it's just repurposed items and props and things that we've gained over the years and changed. So, for me at least, that's a big part of TransWorld is, seeing that aspect of seeing how these big companies are able to do it, and then seeing how we can manage to make that, with a more limited budget.
Big DIY guys, like David said, we see something, oh, it's cool, and then we see the price tag, we're like, yeah, we're gonna build that.
You got to work within your budget. I get that. I get that. Yeah. Can you share anything with Nicole and I, and maybe a few people listening? Any hints of what might be debuted for the 2023 season?
What do you want to talk about?
Oh, you pick.
Inquiring minds.
Yeah, I know. It's different things. I don't know. I think one thing that isn't so much maybe a haunted house related thing that we're starting up this year is getting into more of a merchandise aspect of the house, where being able to sell T-shirts and hats and getting our name out there more to people, and in a way that hopefully will not only bring in more revenue but bring in more people, because that's pretty cool, or where'd they get those from? I know, Chris, you see us, and Alex has his bowling shirt on. Every year at TransWorld, there's a group of people, or someone's always asked, like, hey, you guys a bowling team or something, but they always recognize the shirts because of that. And I think that aspect, just expanding on that to our customers now, where they can do these things. So I'm actually wearing one of our hats that we're going to be debuting. So your first one.
Always been a fan of your shirts, and your bowling shirts. Like, your core crew always wears those. I'm kind of call them bowling shirts. Sorry, because I think they're kind of like that style.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, cool.
I think another thing is, like, going back to DIY. It's just like, okay, we're still a very physical driven haunt, but it's like we're trying to add in our dark corners a lot of more animatronic stuff. So we're trying to create our own, and going into that realm more, and seeing what we can use with props we already have and build off of, different types of air props and stuff like that. Always trying to improve that aspect, the jump scare aspect of everything. And that's something we're really working on. Each year we kind of expand on that more and more and more, and we try to just add to it and make it more part of the show,
So now, all right, you guys have shared so much with us, and I love to be captivated, and that's truly, like, I'm just like listening along, I'm taking notes. It's always a good interview for me, but we need to ask this question. We ask so many people this question, and it's really because it speaks to kind of like your roots, right? Like where you guys kind of got started. But why do you both do this? Like, what makes you love haunted houses, Halloween, and this entire industry so much?
I guess for me, for here, it really does start with the community. I mean, I always tell people that's the number one thing for me. But outside of that, I mean, I grew up watching like horror films, probably at too dangerously of a young age. So it's just like, like horror films. It was a big X-Files kid, growing up, and I was very much into, like, in grade school, and I was a stagehand, and I was like 5th, 6th grade, and I was actually asking the drama teacher, I'm like, can I help you build the set? So it's just like, I think it's just that drive to create something and then have the theme of it being, something spooky, scary, bloody, gory, what have you. It's just like, it adds to all these things that, set off these neurons in my brain. And, oh yeah, I like doing this, I like doing that. And it just, it's captivating in itself, where it's like, for some people it feels like a job. For me, it's just like, no, this is like, I wouldn't even say it's a hobby. It's a lifestyle I enjoy doing, because it's like, it's everything I like wrapped in one. My community, building stuff, acting, and, having that spooky, scary aspect of it, and like wanting to create a scene, always into, went to school for film and everything too. So always into script writing and stuff like that. So personally, it's just like, wow, this is all the things that I like, kind of just wrapped in one, and it's a perfect cake, full of things, all the right flavors.
I'm kind of almost the same wavelength as Alex. They were growing up into like watching the horror movies young and getting into all that creepy stuff when I shouldn't have, and then it just kind of evolved to the point where I need service hours in high school, and it's like, oh, haunted house, I can just go help out there. And that's actually how I first met Jason, is when I volunteered, he picked me for like one of the rooms he was doing. Like, he made the room himself. It was his first thing for this haunt when he came here, and he kind of picked and choose who he wanted for that room. And it just went from there. Like, it was amazing just getting to be in that scene and see that I, could scare these people, and, being behind this mask, I could be this different person. And it was amazing. It was a whole new world, and being able to do that year after year, just built upon that foundation of, now anyone that knows me knows right away, oh yeah, Halloween, that's his favorite holiday. Don't talk to him in September, October, because
we know that all too well.
Oh, do we ever?
It's not going to be every day in those months. So
Yeah.
Or for some
All
of
right.
us, don't talk to us because it's the first 2 weeks of June, you know.
Yeah.
Which we're finding out now. Yeah, this is
Exactly.
the first time doing this with MHC, so it's like trying to gear up for this new thing for us, like being with these awesome haunts that we've grown up with, but be it Hell's Gate and Disturbia and places that we consider like the top of the top, and just being able to be in that same area, it's definitely, for me, I think it's going to be like an amazing experience. Just being there, just meeting these people now.
I haven't been able to shut up about it.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go at work, I'm sure they're sick of me talking about it, but I'm like chalking up the storm, talking to everybody about it. Very excited, and it's that it's like butterflies, but the good type of butterflies. It's very exciting, and it feels right, and I know Jason is looking down on us, and he is more than proud. So I think that's the best aspect of being at MHC this year, is that we're making him proud, and that's another reason why we continue to do this, because he was such a big factor in our life, and we want what he wants, and we will continue to do so.
And we gotta thank you too.
Yes,
like you're the biggest reason we're doing this now. Just kind of being there, always being there for us. Every year with Haunted House Chicago, with our reviews, and then welcoming us into this MHC family. So I want to thank you and all of our crew, for all that you do for us.
It's
amazing.
A true honor. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. Chris,
Oh
we need you to get it together, okay?
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. Gotta hit me with the feels, huh?
I know. Right? That's amazing. No, and Chris is amazing. I don't think we say it enough. I mean, he might not have a convention center named after him, but you know what? One day.
There's always hope. There's always hope.
One day.
Thank you, Alan.
Yeah. So, guys, all right, tell us a little bit about, like, with your excitement, what's going on, and like, what are your plans at MHC? What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be hanging out at the after parties? Are you going to be on the show floor? Where can we find you? Where can we network with you? Where can we pick your brain about all the cool stuff that you're doing?
Well, we'll mostly be at our booth all day. I think me and Dave are going to walk around a little bit here and there, and try to talk to as many people as we can. I mean, this is a great chance for us to just network with everybody. I mean, like, TransWorld is, we do talk to people, and we do make connections, but it's just same with the people that we're talking to. It's like, we got to go get our stuff. We got to go to these vendors. We really got to go get our props, and we got. It's more prop heavy, and for MHC, for us, it's like, okay, now we get to talk to all these wonderful people, or these wonderful people get to talk to us and give us the chance to get on our soapbox that we've just patiently been waiting for. And it's something that we look forward to. I want to talk to every person.
He will.
Yeah. I will be at every event there. I told my girlfriend, it's like, if you just have to look at my location on the phone, because I will be going from spot to spot, and I will be at every event, anything I can be at, I will try to be there. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, most of the day, I would say, like, definitely catch us at our booth.
Yes.
After party, I think we'll both.
Yeah,
I
think our whole crew is going to be at the after party.
We love that.
I saw that maybe someone has to beat Chris at beer pong. So
yeah.
I did. Is that a commitment?
It's a commitment.
I can throw the challenge out there.
We got team number one right here.
All right, let's do it. Nicole, you got a partner?
I'm in. I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know, guys.
First match.
Whoever loses has to take a shot of Malort. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Game on.
She means business now. That's awesome.
There we go.
I can run faster than I look like I can. I'm just throwing.
Well, we are beyond excited that you guys are a part of Haunted House Chicago, bro, right there in the pit, in the heart of MHC, right by the stage, where you're in the heart of all of the entertainment, and just surrounded by everybody. And we're really, really excited that you're a part of this. Of course, that is booth 2565. And we hear that one, a certain gentleman named Cletus might be hanging out at the booth all day on Saturday. I don't know if you guys can confirm or deny.
No, he'll be there. He's our pride and joy. And putting it in so many words. He is definitely one of our most outgoing characters at the haunt, and I'm sure he will be more than outgoing with anybody that he approaches. So he's the life of the party, and you'll understand what that means when you meet him.
Yeah.
I cannot wait, seriously. And to Chad, I thought we were friends, Chad. Like, that's it. Chad Spear in the comments here asked, was Chris at Catacombs the first year it was opened?
Oh,
Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy.
yeah.
Love you, buddy. Guys, we're so happy that you're here. Thank you so much. We've only got one more question, and we need your help. We want to give away a ticket to the Saturday night MHC costume party. And we thought what better way than whoever wants to be the sacrificial lamb on this one. What's your favorite horror movie or Halloween movie of all time? And if you both want to put your answers into the host chat, maybe we'll just accept whichever one comes out first. How about that?
Yeah, I like that.
That works.
And so while they're working on that, everybody, you're going to put MHC and the name of the movie that you think is one of their favorites for a chance to get a free ticket to the MHC costume party on Saturday night. And if you are Courtney McIntyre, please close the window for like 2 seconds and come back. No, we love you, buddy. We love you, buddy. I'm just joking. All right, we got some answers coming in already. This is good. Let's see what the boys say. See, this is the fun stuff. This is why you're here. We love the interactivity. We want to give back to all of you. We've got some good stuff coming in. Oh, love those answers. Love those answers.
Okay, send it over.
All right, perfect. That's a great answer. All right, we've got the answer key locked in here, teachers. Let's see what we got going. All right, anybody? Nicole, you seeing anything yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Not
But
yet?
I see the
Love the guesses though. These are some,
Me too.
Yeah.
some good stuff. Good stuff. Strangeland, that's a good guess. This is kind of along those lines of Strangeland. It's got a lot of similarities.
Okay.
I think that's a fair. Tusk.
Oh, wow.
Good question. Haven't seen that one in a while. Isn't that by? I think
That's awesome.
isn't that by Kevin Smith? I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that one's a good one. Hills Have Eyes. Great inspiration for their answer, actually. Nice.
Yeah.
And I feel like any second it's just gonna pop up.
It's gonna pop. Yeah. I think so many haunters. This movie is an inspiration in some way.
It's a very scenically well put together movie. You know?
Yeah.
Especially it's put together by a director who loves the stuff and it's known for what for.
I mean, he made a haunted house after it.
Yeah.
So
And those are great hints. And I think we have a winner. Nicole, you see
I think we do too.
Well,
Go ahead, Chris. All you.
Coming to us from the YouTubes tonight, Mr. Paul Robinson with the correct. Oh, wait, hang on. Maybe hold on. Let me bet. Yep, I am correct. Paul Robinson with the correct answer. MHC House of 1,000 Corpses from, of course, Rob Zombie. Congratulations, Paul. I think Paul has 1 or 2 tickets there, so that's awesome.
I know. We love extra tickets.
nice. We'll see.
Guys, come see them at the booth in Haunted House Chicago Row, booth 2565. I think one of the coolest websites in website names or addresses in all of the game, scarypopcorn.com. Yes, that's legitimately their website, which is awesome. Guys, anything you want to say to anybody that's watching and going to see you in about a week?
Come give us a talk. Come visit us. Come give us a try. We want to talk. I want to talk to everybody. So pass by our booth, say what's up to us, and keep on haunting. Make this industry bigger and keep on thriving it because we all love what we do and we all want this to get bigger and bigger.
I think a lot of the bigger hunts, I hope, they remember where they came from too. And just like, well, it's like, this is our start, and who knows where it could go one day. So that's why, I hope that I get to, make connections with those long-term, hunt people, and where they came from, and how they got to where they are now.
I'm going to help get the ball rolling. Nicole and I just got a message from someone. You guys are very excited to connect with people in the industry, and someone in the industry already reached out to Nicole and I here and wanted us to mention to you that you should definitely go see Jennifer Luke, the owner of Graffiti FX, while you're at the show. She wants to do something special for Catacombs.
Awesome.
I love this. I know. I just got so excited as soon as I saw it.
And she just posted that in the chat. Would love to give you guys some products. Thank you for giving back.
Oh, thank you, Jennifer. That's awesome. That warmed my heart. Thank you.
Jen,
you are talking to you. I might talk to you for a long time.
Yeah. Thank you all that.
Awesome.
We love you, Jen. And thanks, guys, for coming on the show, for spending time. Thanks to your whole crew. We can't wait to see you in about a week and warm up those beer pong arms.
Hey.
Yeah, be ready. Be ready.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Just a couple more sleeps until we see you at MHC.
Easy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, you.
Chris, how you doing?
Wow. I'm always great. We get some of the best people in the industry. I only wish that our show was like 18 hours long so that we could pack them all in. We should
really talk about TransWorld going live all day, every day, all the time, talking to everybody.
No,
we'd all be getting so much more haunt stuff done, I feel like.
100% agree, but just to really like pull back the curtain, huge credit to Jennifer Luke right there. What just happened?
Yeah.
We wanted to help showcase a haunted attraction who does great work for the community. And Jennifer Luke was the first to say, I want to help. I want to give back.
I love that. I love that.
And that's the beauty of our community and our family. And we love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that is incredible. And so speaking of giving back, I'm going to give back a little bit of a tidbit for you guys right here, right now. If you didn't already know, early bird pricing has ended, but there is still time to grab your tickets. This is your reminder, because if history repeats itself, we will be having folks with things that are sold out or having to stand in different lines and stuff to buy extra tickets and that type of stuff. So now is that time. As you know, here watching TransWorld Live, you can win things, and that is so fun and it's so important. And even if you've bought things before and you want to trade them in for other things, that sometimes can happen. So keep watching, keep locked here, keep guessing, playing along with our games, all of that, because there is nothing more than we love to do than to give back to you guys who spend your time with us here on these awesome Tuesday nights. TransWorld Tuesday. I know. I'm getting like nostalgic, misty-eyed, and like, oh God.
Well, welcome, Johnny from Haunt Scene. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, if you guys didn't already know, MHC is gearing up to be one heck of a conference all the way around, and party and trade show and yeah. Yeah. So moving on. People are saying bye. Thank you. Yeah. I thought at first when I read it, I was like, oh no, Karen's got to leave early. This is odd. No, she's sticking around, and there is so much show left. So, Chris, tell them what's next.
I can't even believe it, but we're only at the midway point because we are at our third guest. And this is a jam-packed show because we don't have a lot of time. Very excited to have our next guest on, all the way from Massacre Haunted House, Miss Carly Chavez. Hi. So I am beyond excited that I can say your name right, because I've only known you for a very long time. And during the promo last week, of course, I didn't say it right like a fool. And I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It happens.
But what was great is the teasing ensued, from all of our mutual friends. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know that she was the general manager of Massacre Haunted House." I'm like, "Oh, that's just me. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
That's fine. We just let him make stuff up sometimes, yeah. No. So thank you. So,
Yeah.
okay, now, all right, Carly, tell us who you are. Tell us what you do. Tell us a little bit about Massacre.
So I'm the general manager. So I manage the whole building. I also manage the escape rooms. I'm the makeup manager, and I do act. So I do a decent amount here. I help with a lot of the background as well, like the scenes and all the decorating and all that. I mean, Massacre's in Montgomery, so
Yep.
we're a giant haunted house. And we also have like escape rooms and axe throwing. We have virtual reality escape rooms. So it's kind of like, to me, like a point where during October they can come and do spooky stuff. But then when we're, the actual haunted house is closed, there's like actually kind of like a family environment where people can bring their kids and friends can come and do escape rooms and do a bunch of, stuff here.
So it's like an entertainment complex.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
I love it. I remember going
photo
last year.
shoots.
It was a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Kyle Miller wants to say, by the way, he knows you because you're famous. So
No.
Nicole, Nicole, I know we got a chance. I got a chance to introduce you to Nicole last year because they were a part of not only the TransWorld pre-show tour, but also the MHC pre-show tour. So that's pretty awesome. But she's actually, I don't even want to say like a triple threat. She is just this multiversed headed dragon of talent because, like she mentioned, she is not only part of management, but she's also very, very creative. She is a makeup artist. She's an actor. She has to run the show. She's doing costuming. She's running all of these escape rooms. She's innovating. She might be one of the craziest people on the planet.
I do a lot for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I can definitely appreciate it. So you, all right. So let me just ask this before we get too much further. What did you start out doing?
Like where I started basically, or
yeah. Like what did you start out doing in the haunted attraction industry?
Oh, okay. So when I first came to Massacre, I was just an actor. And actually, like I mentioned that I wanted to do makeup, and they instantly were like, "Do it!" Like, I'm totally. I want to be in it. I want to learn everything. So I started off doing acting and makeup as well.
I love it. And how long have you been doing this?
Almost. I want to say like 9.5, 10 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Now, obviously, Ryan Burke, the owner of Massacre, is a very, very good friend of TransWorld's, and we love him because I know he has so many different interests, and he is a great partner to Jen and Rich. So on behalf of all of us from TransWorld, we want to give a big thank you to him. But let's talk about Massacre for a second, just the haunted house. We know that you guys have this insane entertainment complex, as Nicole said. First, are naming rights available? Will Ryan sell it to Nicole in some way, shape, or form, so we could say the Nicole M. Ginsburg Entertainment Complex at Massacre Haunted House? Or something like that.
Just take it off. I'm just hoping that the city of Rosemont at some point, or the state of Illinois, will just put up a statue of me.
There we go.
Like, yeah,
with the lemon in hand.
As long as I can do it as a witch. Yeah, dress up as Winifred Sanderson, the artist formerly known.
I like this. How big are you guys? Let's all jokes aside, like how big is your entertainment complex?
So we're about 30,000 square feet.
Damn.
So we got a lot of space. We just recently got ownership of the whole entire strip. So obviously there's other like businesses that are in it. But we have about 30,000 square feet.
It's amazing. It is. And I remember, and like, I actually have like, it's going through my head right now of all of the different like photos that we took there, and the kids had a lot of fun, and they like absolutely, loved it. Actually, my one son, Owen, it was the very first haunted attraction that he ever made it all the way through. You will forever. I know. Fun fact.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It is. It's a very awesome.
So wait, real quick, before you have some fans here. Obviously, I know you and Derek are close. He says one of your favorite humans, obviously, but Bruce Holmes is looking for autographs. Are you giving out autographs?
I'm horrible at any type of signatures. Like, if you ask me to sign anything, it will look like it's scribble scrabble. Like, it is bad. So, I mean, I can give you something. It might be like a little scribble circle, but like, it'll be from me.
I like it.
we always try to focus on here talking about how people have come up through the ranks and have really worked hard. You've been in the industry almost 10 years working hard on all of your aspects of your craft. Massacre has also, they didn't start with a 30,000 square foot building. Can you talk a little bit of history about Massacre? I think I might have actually gone to the very first Massacre, Chad Spear. So I think I can talk about that if you don't know it 100%.
No, I do.
Okay.
So I know that I wasn't there for that because I was literally like probably 12 or like 13. They were at Odyssey Fun World. I don't really remember how long they were there for. They were in like a section of the establishment where they put up the haunt. Like it was like a tear down, throw up type of haunt where they couldn't keep it there permanently. So they would build everything somewhere else and bring it there. And they were actually like a PG-13 haunt. So like they weren't even allowed to do like crazy amounts of stuff there. But then finally, I know that Ryan and a couple others that were a part of it originally were like, hey, like we got to find another place. Like it's got to be like more permanent. So we can like keep the walls up and keep working on it. So then that's when we moved here to Montgomery.
Love it. Love it. Well, we've seen you in different variations. We're super happy of where you guys are at now. Obviously, it is crazy. We run into tons of the fans of the show because you guys do a ton of off-season events as well. And so it's always fun when you're standing in that waiting area, waiting room that you guys have. It is kind of like a mini reunion because there's always people that come out to see all of your shows. And obviously we talked about it a little bit, but we featured you guys on 2 of our main tours when we were covering the area. So the comments and the feedback and everything. The question that we're getting real quick is we know you do everything or quite a bit at the Massacre Haunted House. Do you also serve the apple pie shots at the bar?
Ooh.
We do get that a lot. Poor boys gets a bar, and I mean, if they were to give me a tray, I would go out there full blown and be like, "Y'all want some?" Like I would do it, but they never asked me. So
I love it.
I love it. Actually, I just sent some pictures of our trip to Massacre from last year, and there might be some familiar faces in there. So I want to I don't know if Robert can get those up fast enough. I know I should never ever doubt him, but
Ingrid.
yeah,
Yes.
so that's
Oh my God.
one of the Ginsberg children right there. Very excited and loving all of it, and that waiting area was amazing.
There's a lot going on in that whole area.
I know, right?
Oh, these are good
we are.
memories. This was a great
I know.
time. This is when Ryan and Tater, if you remember that tour, there was a scantily clad picture of Tate, just hanging up on your front entrance
that's
there.
Right. That's right.
Oh, it's a party in there. It is a party. I don't even think that does it justice.
I know. I love
Yes.
it.
While we're looking at these, Carly, okay, so let's talk about this because you guys are an entertainment complex. You are a one-stop shop. Obviously, you do have a world-class haunted attraction in your 30,000 square foot building, but you also have other fun stuff here. You have not only 1 escape room, 2 escape rooms. I need my fingers. Hold on. 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 7 escape rooms?
Yes, we do.
Oh my. Okay. And
Just a few.
And beyond, I think you may be one of the very first ones in Chicago. I've not done my research. I am not an expert in escape rooms, but you have the very first virtual reality escape room in Chicago, I think. I
know they do it within the company that we went through, which to be honest, I don't even remember what their name is. It's been a lot.
Sure.
They don't do within a certain mile radius. So from there on, they only part it. So there's not so many people concentrated in one area, but yeah, they're virtual reality escape rooms. It's super fun. All my staff absolutely loved it. They were of course because they wanted to play all the games because we all had them. So we all spent weeks playing the games and understanding it. It's a lot of tech, which Ryan's famous words were, "You like video games, you can figure it out." What? What? So I had to figure it all out, which it was really nice. The company worked with us on it and was able to help me get through it. But literally, it's super fun. I always recommend it.
Love it. I like Emma's. I like Emma's. It's like escape rooms, but virtual.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
I love it. I love it.
You and Nicole have something very, very much in common. You guys run attractions and you get to deal with the fun parts. And that's the parts that all of us, the fans, get to see. We get to hang out and we get to see you do your stuff, which is beautiful, and view that artwork and go home with those nightmares. But you also have to deal with the business side of things. You have to deal with personnel. You have to deal with all the challenges that come with being a general manager. For those of you that share that kind of duality, can you talk a little bit about what that is like to balance that while your show is open and running and trying to make sure everything operates, but also entertain your guests?
It's kind of stressful at times, not gonna lie. But a lot of it just kind of came like fluently to me, and like literally, like I just kind of snapped right into it. So at first, obviously, when I was promoted, I wasn't the general manager. I was just like an assistant manager for a little bit. And while the show's running, I have to wear a whole earpiece and a radio around.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of annoying, but we all do it. And it can be stressful, but sometimes you just know when to hop into character and when to pop out. Like, you'll definitely have to, for me, where I act every single night, like I could be scaring someone and then something pops up on the radio and then I immediately just have to like stop what I'm doing and just be like, okay, and then go run to that situation. But I do delegate a lot. So like I don't just throw everything on me. I delegate a lot onto my other managers and any staff that's willing to help or is there to help. So like a lot of it doesn't really follow me too much when it comes into like little things, unless if it's very large. And then at that point, I do have to step in.
Understood completely. Understood. There's nights where we'll come and visit you and things are going well. You're able to hang out. And there's other ones you're like, I got to work. You're doing your thing. And that's the beauty of it. A quick comment from the audience here. Annabelle French says, Carly is amazing. She's not only the manager, but also a sister to all of us. And that means so much. So we love that. And we knew it's one of the very many comments people have been putting in here, and we're just trying to feature some of them. But you're getting a lot of love. And it sounds like you better be bringing a great Sharpie because they all want your autograph.
And I just try to like make it where the staff knows that, like I'm the manager, but I'm also here to help you along the way, like to shape you, because a lot of them are younger. So it's like you come in here with all this passion and love, and it's like, they're bombarded with the business aspect. I'm like, hey, like one of the biggest things I always shit on everybody is that I used to work at Panera for like 3 years when I was younger, and I would like literally bawl my eyes out whenever I would screw up on something. And one of my managers at the time, super monotone, like has no like emotion, but he just goes, Carly, it's just bread. And I'm like, okay. So then when people are like freaking out and like, freaking out, like, oh, I scared this person wrong or accidentally bumped into them. I'm like, hey guys, like, it's just a haunted house. It's okay. Like, take that tension, just release it, and it's going to be okay. And from there on, like, I just want everybody to know, and my staff, that you may screw up or something may happen, but it's okay. And I'm here to fix it.
I love that.
Great advice.
Love that.
Oh my god.
It's kind of like the don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff.
Everything is bread.
I love that. Everything's bread. I like that.
Everything's bread.
Now, Jennifer Luke has a great question. You already have a lot of skills, but is there a skill you would like to learn in the industry or maybe enhance a little bit?
So personally, like I don't know if that would fall in the category of makeup, but I'm crap at sculpting.
Okay.
I would love to learn that. I've had opportunities to learn, but I'm not really good with like shaping like clay and stuff. So I'd love to learn that. And I'd say probably carpentry work, more in-depth carpentry work. Like just learning like how to like put up a frame. You put me in front of a frame, I'll look at it and be like, you want me to paint it? Or what?
we know you get a chance to hang out with those amazing guys from Overlook Creative, who also make some amazing stuff, and we're very, very proud of them as well. So, I know you can learn a thing for two from watching them. So that's exciting.
Oh my gosh, you just got an invite from
Yeah.
Sir Alan Hops to come to Monster Camp. Carly, you should join us. I don't know when we're going yet, but I cannot wait to go to Monster Camp. It's like my bucket list. I feel like it's like the summer thing to do. I mean, summer in Texas, why not? But
yeah.
So Derek asks, when you go to Subway, what type of bread do you get?
Italian herbs and cheese. Like every time.
Love it. All right. We've seen a lot of us on here obviously have been to Massacre. We'll keep coming back because things are always changing. Can you give us a hint of what the future may hold for Massacre? Any future scenes or renovations? I think I may have seen something on someone's Snapchat. I don't know, but anything you want to tease here?
The boss man told me the exact words to say. So basically, they're torture chambers. So we're changing a huge part of our queue line area and like our midway area. And then the haunt itself is getting a lot of updates too. So we're changing a really big portion of everything. All I know is that the beginning part is torture chamber.
Oh my gosh.
Love it.
I literally tell Ryan I've got hair on the back of my neck standing up. I'm beyond excited.
I'm so excited for all of it. Like, just been working on it recently, doing like detail work and stuff. I'm just like, dude, I can't even wait. Like, I need it to be October now so I can see the first group go in and see their reaction.
Oh my God, I love it. I want to do a follow-up. I want to know everything about it.
Yes.
So
I got you.
I'm in.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. All right. So you kind of know the drill at this point, but sorry, Chris, I'm going to take over on this. You guys are going to be in Chicago Haunted House Row, right? With Massacre. Are you bringing any of your characters with you?
Me personally, no. I have two characters from Massacre itself. I have Trixie the Clown, and then I also have Hollow, which is a vampire that will be roaming around. Trixie will be on Saturday.
Yep.
The times are, I don't remember.
Okay, I'm clear at this point.
Like noon to 2. Yep.
Something like that. And then Hollow will be on Sunday from like noon to 2 as well. So those two, they're crazy. They're a lot. In a good way. They're a lot in a good way, and I'm super excited because they are amazing actresses at our show. So I'm like, super excited.
Love this. Cannot wait to see them. And now, Nicole, you want to know a rumor I just heard?
Yeah, I want to know a rumor.
I mean, maybe we can get Carly to, admit to it right here live on the air with no preparation whatsoever. How do you feel about that, Carly?
Sure.
I love it. Let's go.
Rumor has it that during the MHC pre-show bus tour on Thursday to Detroit, Michigan, maybe Carly might be making an appearance at our middle haunt, Eloise Asylum.
Maybe.
Okay.
We got a maybe.
Maybe
Got
not.
a maybe. All right. I love it.
We'll take it.
I love it.
We'll take that. Real quick, can we go backwards in time for just 1 second? Because I've not gotten a chance to interview you, and Nicole runs around like crazy. So we have not been able to do this together. You and Alex Woday, and we love you both, sat for like 8 hours doing a full body paint at TransWorld. And we got a chance to do like a quick recap, but both of you were so exhausted at the end of that. Can you talk a little bit about that experience, who you got painted by, and what it's like to be a part of that artistic process?
Oh, my bad.
Sorry.
Woo, I breathed in weird. Okay. So it was Alejo. I believe he is, I don't exactly remember his full entire like Mexican name, but Alejo. He does a lot of body painting and stuff. He hit me and Alex up and was like, hey, do you want to do some paint at TransWorld? And I was like, yeah, why not? He's amazing. So great. And I will say, was not prepared for how long it was going to take.
Yeah, it takes some time.
Yeah, like I was just kind of standing there, like I didn't eat or drink anything. Wow, like I am screwed. So a few people went and got me like water and stuff, but it was super fun. I loved the turnout, like the whole makeup and everything, especially Alex. She's like one of my like girly pops. I love her to death. So we got to hang out and talk and do all of that. So it was super fun. It was definitely like anxious a little bit, like being, you know, having to have a prosthetic over my chest, but Alejo was very comforting, and everybody else was very, you know, just like supportive of everything. And I will say the only worst part of it was taking it off, because I was dumb, and she's probably not on here, but shout out to Jay Carlson, because I was literally in the shower crying because I couldn't get it off because I forgot the remover at the show floor. So she drove her car to go get it and then drive all the way back and then help me take it off. I was literally crying. I was
that's amazing.
I can't get it off, bro. Like, what's happening? Like, literally, me and Alex both were like, bro, are you done yet? Like, it was bad, but it was a beautiful look. Like, I could wear it again. I would.
Well, I can't even imagine the amount of sacrifice that it took to do it. If you want to take a peek, of course, if you're friends with them, I'm sure they have it on their social media, but we do have it on the TransWorld live feed as well, because we did shoot a live video of that as well. So check that out from February. And thanks for doing that, because that sacrifice doesn't come without you know, you having to not eat or not run around the convention floor and kind of sit still and just talk to a few people for a long time. So that's pretty awesome. And our credit, of course, to Alejo for all of his hard work, because you'll get a chance to see that on the video. So
Love it. Absolutely love it.
We know that obviously you'll do anything for the industry, both for your local attraction, for your friends, for your crew. Why do you love being a part of these conventions and sacrificing and coming to TransWorld and coming to MHC and working 20 to 22 hours a day, maybe getting 2 hours of sleep? Why do you do this? Why do you love the industry? Why do you love coming to the shows?
So like, a lot of it comes with when I was younger, I didn't really have a place to fit in. I struggled a lot with just like who I was and everything like that, which is always like the basic, like, you know, I don't know who I am. But when I started haunting and like getting involved with conventions, it just kind of brought me in with a lot of people, and I became friends and actually like genuine friendships with people. And those people have been there for me in a lot of situations that were personal. And just the fact that when everybody's together, it kind of feels like time stops and like we're all just laughing and having a good time. I mean, of course, like we're all probably exhausted and like hungover, but like it's a great time. You know, you're spending time with your friends. So I love it for the people, being able to see everybody I don't normally get to see all the time. And then as well as just like walking into a convention full of art and like horror things. Like the first time I ever went to TransWorld, I literally cried. Like I was like, this is amazing. Like everything all in one. I'm gonna stay here forever. Like you can all go. I'll stay right here. Like it's just such a fun time, and seeing everybody and everybody all in one area is the one thing I look for the most, because you can't always see their shows during October ever, because half of us work for a job at a haunted house. So seeing everybody on off season is always just like a giant warm hug of just everybody.
Amen.
Yeah. I
Amen.
love it.
It's the family. It's the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love this. Well, everybody that comes along with that at MHC, they're going to be at booth 2569 right there in Haunted House Chicago Row. You want to check them out before? fearthemassacre.com, mindtrapiscaperooms.com, and of course, bullandbearaxe.com. But I know you can get to all of those links from fearthemassacre.com. Yeah. Carly, anything else that you want to say to all of your amazing fans and people viewing before we get together in about a week?
I just all my friends, I love you. You're amazing. The support recently has definitely been needed. My life's been really hectic, and just seeing all my friends actually genuinely be there for me is like makes me want to cry, you know. So thank you. Mwah.
We love
we
you.
love that. Thank you
Well,
so much for spending your time with us tonight. But yeah, like before we go, we got another major prize to give away, and we want your help.
Okay.
The good stuff is we already have your answer. So, friends, now it's time to win 1 ticket to the Saturday night MHC costume party. By doing so, all you need to do is enter MHC and who you think Carly's favorite horror or Halloween movie character is. So this is going to be a character from a Halloween or horror movie. Who do you think her favorite character is? Like, I'll give you an example that's not correct. Like Jason Voorhees. You would write MHC Jason Voorhees and see if that's the right answer. Oh boy. Okay. Well, this is a quick one. Well, this is a quick
fact.
Apparently, people.
In the first time in TransWorld history, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Congratulations to. Okay, Chris, you say it. Whoever you see first.
I am seeing. I'm just refreshing here real quick to make sure. It's Jessica Burr. Jessica Burr. Congratulations.
We already got a ticket. We already have our ticket.
That's all right. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. Congratulations, Jessica. You have won yourself a pass to the MHC Saturday night costume party. You're going to be partying it up with myself and Chris and so many others.
Love it.
Amazing.
All you have to do, Jess, of course, is email either Nicole or myself, Nicole at haashow.com or Chris, KRIS, at haashow.com. No to those viewer audiences that are asking themselves, hey, they didn't give out the address when Courtney won. We didn't need to.
No. Courtney automatically populates. Courtney's just like, yo, hit me up again. I'm just kidding. No, the fun thing about Courtney is every single time he does win, it is like the first time. And it, pretty soon I'm just expecting him to be like, I want to thank the Academy for another award. Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
Carly, last question. Wait, you got to explain. Derek guessed Bunny Man. Is there a story behind Bunny Man on that one?
Maybe. I know we did like Butcher Bunny at Massacre, and there used to be like this giant bunny suit that's absolutely terrifying. And maybe.
All right. We're going to save that for the show floor. Bring your questions and your Sharpies because she's there going to be signing autographs at the booth. We'll see you in less than a week, Carly. And please, he has bailed us out of a ton of major problems. Thank Ryan on behalf of the entire TransWorld team. We love you both. We love your whole crew. Thank you so much.
Yes, we cannot wait to see you in just a few short weeks.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
We'll see you very soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Always fun. We get to do these deep dives with these Chicago haunters. Love it. Love it.
Oh my gosh. Chris, but wait, there's more.
There is always more. As we are just over the halfway point now, we still have 2 more guests to go. Super excited because we just keep bringing the heavy hits. You know her. You love her because her artwork is hanging on your wall from Basement of the Dead and Disturbia Haunted House. None other than Emma Von Zombie. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
What are you doing? I got Tom Heisman in my background.
Oh my gosh, I know that guy.
You know that guy?
He was just on like a pay-per-view or something, right?
But who is Tom Heisman?
Yeah, he's another guy that has helped us out of a lot of shit, and we love him.
Hey, shit. Hey.
Nicole and I have talked about your painting. I think we lost Nicole for a second here, but we only wish that there were 2 copies of the painting. Like if there was some sort of machine that could make that, that would be so brilliant. That would be wonderful.
I just remembered what painting you were referring to.
Of course, you know her, you love her. The lemons are lighting up in the chat and so much love. I can't even keep up with it. It's ridiculous. You are from Basement of the Dead. You are from Disturbia Haunted House. But for maybe like the 1 or 2 people that don't know who you are, tell everybody who you are.
So I first started at Basement of the Dead. My first year was probably 2013. I started off on their makeup team at Basement out in Aurora, Illinois. I got on working inside the house as one of their hospital nurses because it had a very Silent Hill nurse theme, and I really liked that. So, and then got into doing a little bit more makeup, started getting more hands-on with just starting off with my Ben Nye cake wheel, and then started getting more fluent in airbrushing, taught myself airbrush, took it apart, assembled it back together, figured out the ins and outs of it. I went through a lot of Harbor Freight guns and ruining a lot of those before I finally got to like getting a good, like a good pache. And then now I'm kind of on to the Iwata team.
Nice.
Like, yeah. So
talk about evolution.
Right? I don't want to say anything. I'm not gonna. It's really good. It's really good for lineup work.
That's what you have Nicole and I for. We're your biggest hype people. So
I know. I love all this. I don't know if you can see all the lemons.
It's insane.
In the comments. It is insane. I love it. And I love how many people know where it came from.
No.
Like, I know, but it doesn't matter. They just know that you represent lemons, and I love everything about it. Listen, I spent a lot of time. I have prepared photos.
You did your research?
I know. I have photos of everything that we would possibly need tonight. I already sent it.
Hey, I mean, what do you want to say about lemons? I mean, like, because obviously a lot of people are crediting you in the comments here with a vast amount of citrus.
Not any.
and truly, because okay, like if it weren't you, that's fine. But whomever brought the lemon to existence, we just want to say on behalf of TransWorld Live that we're really, really happy to adopt it as our kind of like icon, because even
it's our official fruit of the show.
Yeah.
It's your official fruit? At least it's not pineapples.
Yeah, right.
Could be worse.
Well, there's a lot of pineapples and a lot of lemons.
Oh my gosh, they're coming in. Obviously, thanks to whomever brought that lemon, maybe into our lives, we now have our own special scent that's going to be sold at the Monstrous Marketplace, pretty much because of this person. So if you know whoever did that lemon, you better thank him for us. So
yes,
I'll tell him. It's a friend of a friend. I'll tell him.
Yes, I love it. Yes, I actually I visited Basement of the Dead last year along with some of our other friends, and I was gifted a lemon, and it was very special. And it was wonderful. I also had lemon candy. There's a lot of things. But yeah.
Hey, Nicole, do you even know that you can even go into the restrooms there and there's lemons there? I mean, besides the wonderful fragrant smell, I mean, the citrus is just bountiful.
It's overwhelming.
It's amazing. Oh my God, the amount of comments with the lemons. Love it. I keep looking to see if there's messages in there. Yeah. No.
I have my tablet up right now just to watch. It's a lot.
Oh.
I want it to stop.
All right. So, Chris, do you want to give a quick recap of the story of lemons, the lemon history? I mean, if there was ever a time to do it, I feel like.
Yeah, I think you should tell. You should tell.
Oh, I should tell it. Huh? Yeah. Well, someone really, really awesome in the industry.
Give us the zest on it.
I heard this. Yeah. I heard this story that maybe a few years ago at the TransWorld, that there might have been maybe some leftover, garnish from some party or something. I don't quite remember the exact details, but and that maybe they just needed to be, placed properly around the convention center, and we're spreading the absence of scurvy. So
yes, prevention. It was really prevention.
It's the only
prevention.
Cleansing. It's cleansing. It really hones in your chi, and it's supposed to, like, if you have like lemons, there's actually kind of a lore about lemons. If you have 9 lemons in a bowl in your house, it's actually good luck. If you have 8, no, throw that shit out or add one more. You can't have just 8 lemons in your house. Yeah,
really?
Look it up. Look it up.
I'm writing it down because now I need to know.
I think it's 9. I could be wrong.
Okay, so
Don't get me wrong.
I may not have seen somebody say urban legend, and I was like, urban lemon. That's a cool name.
Urban lemons. I'm just saying, have you seen a lemon in the wild, like a lemon like Bigfoot tree?
Oh, that's a good idea. Paul just mentioned he was gifted a lemon. I know that. I mean, I have been present when lemons have been distributed. Copious amounts. Literally, I feel right now, I just want to real quick just give my deepest condolences to the Seneca family, because I can't even imagine the amount of fruit cleanup that needs to happen every night.
It's not that bad. Plus, it's lemons. They clean themselves, huh? They're made for cleaning. Are you kidding me? Exactly. We're helping it out. It's a natural deodorizer. You just scrub the, you miss a shower or two, no problem.
Oh my God. All the way around. Chris, and we weren't supposed to talk about lemons until halfway through this interview.
No, we had that.
Yeah, I thought we were going to hold off on this.
We were.
It's okay. They were literally like throwing lemons at us from the audience.
Literally, you had
my whole panel is just going to be about lemons.
That's it. You haven't even said 10 things, and literally it's all lemons. It's great.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah, I'm a makeup artist in lemon.
Yeah, that's it. Well,
that's it.
Obviously, we're going to give you some huge credit here. Obviously, all of you have gotten a chance. If you haven't, you certainly need to check her out. She's a haunter. She's a designer, a creator, an innovator, a makeup artist, a costume designer, a very huge inspiration to a lot of people. Yes. Because they're definitely putting them out there. We got to go back to the beginning. And in all seriousness, how did you get started in this industry?
Kind of a jack of all trades. Kind of just got into it when, hold on one second. I got into it when I was in high school, and I really wanted to be a part of my town's like haunted house or haunted attraction, and didn't really know how to get into it. I actually went to school with Johanna from Hell's Gate, and she knows this, but she kind of doesn't know how big of an influence she's had on my life and had on like my haunt career since like I'd known her. But like huge inspiration for makeup wise, for style wise, for like just everything artsy that there is about her. How she has honed in on her own creativity. She isn't like an unseen master. But like the fact that like Johanna has inspired a whole lot of things. I was like, hey, how do I get started in a haunted house? She's like, just show up in black and come on over. I'll be like, and then I got nervous. I got cold feet. So then I had another friend at a haunt down the way in Shanahan, Illinois. And I was like, hey, I want to get started. He's like, all right, come to Abyss Haunted House, where Paul Niemeyer was working. It was right across from the Dollinger Pumpkin Farm. I was like, perfect. I know exactly what that place is. They have a Civil War reenactment, and it's very like, if there's something that brings me back to like how fall should feel, it's that place.
And creepy farmhouses and rivers and yes.
They have like the pumpkin bread, the apple spice bread. You can smell it in the air. They have little corn mazes up on the hill. They got the Civil War reenactments, the tents you can walk through. So it almost feels like Renaissance fair, but for Civil War. And then across the street was all the spooky shit. So and that's what we used to be. So eventually I found myself, I ended up getting in there. RJ Hermanowitz was my first makeup artist, so he was my first one to ever do makeup on my face. And I've hardly had anyone else, like, there's maybe a handful of people I've had someone else like do makeup on my face that wasn't me. So he taught me a lot about airbrush, like right off from the get. And I was a vampire.
Okay.
That was my
Very
first role was a vampire. This might be if there's ever like a pop quiz on like, hey, if you know what Emma used to be, like her first role, that's it. Book note that right there.
Chris is over with his fancy fingers, making sure we got it.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. And then eventually my summer ended up evolving, took me out to Aurora, where I found myself at Basement of the Dead, where Senecers took me on. I had blue hair at the time, and the only reason I remember I had blue hair is because I walked in and I had this crappy little makeup doodad on the back of my hand with some tissue paper and Elmer's glue and like crappy Ben Nye makeup wheel. It's not crappy, but like still love that stuff. It was just to show like tendon showing. I was like, hey Sarah, so I'm kind of interested in makeup. And she's like, do you want to be a clown too? I said, no. I hate clowns. She's like, okay, well then what do you want to be? I said, I heard you got a Silent Hill nurse room. I got my own costume that I made. So then she took me on. I ended up learning makeup. And then kind of from there, it just kind of took off. So and then I first learned about TransWorld in that first year I was there, because I was doing makeup and acting. And then one of the other actors there was like, you'll probably get invited to TransWorld. TransWorld's super cool. And I was like, what's TransWorld?
And now look at years later. I'm going to hit you with the feels real quick because this is pretty important. I literally saved my chat just to make sure that we highlighted this comment because I think it's really, really important.
Chris, I saw it. Yes, 100%.
From a very near and dear person to all three of us. But this is pretty awesome, and I actually didn't know this either. So Alex Baudet put into the chat, I don't know if you know this, but in 2017, I went to Basement of the Dead Blackout and saw Zoe, one of your characters, on her ice cream cart and said, I want to be that. In 2017, she created Sharky inspired directly by Zoe. I love you, Emma. You are my role model for acting.
Makes me want to cry.
Yeah. I know. See?
Oh my
We talk about that full circle component because, I mean, Paul is a great inspiration, and I've known him for a bunch of years. I know he's inspired so many actors and actresses with that great setting, and he's moved on to other things. The fact of your story coming up through the ranks and now being a part of two major haunted attractions where you have to work both of these who run very grueling seasons. Like you guys are open Wednesday through Sundays. You're open every holidays and everybody in the industry comes out and has a good time. How is it balancing that? Like working, you're not just working one big haunted attraction, you're working two in two different
Still trying in between off-season events. When we do have Basement open, it's not been super often. The last probably a split event that we did was Christmas at Basement, and then we did a separate Christmas event at Disturbia. I think that I want to say that was about 2 years ago. So it hasn't been too often that we've been like splitting the bill on that. I wish I could just split myself in half and leave one part of me to like have all the memories and still create the old memories at Basement, because that is my home. Like that will forever be my home haunt. I know the ins and out of that place. It's so weird going back now and like seeing like the changed up cast. But I still love like connecting with all the kids, especially on orientation day. But that's literally probably the only time I see with them. And then it's not until we have our off-season events that comes to Disturbia. And we kind of have that as like our main location now because it's so much bigger on the inside. It's like a TARDIS. It's the same amount of space, but there's a bigger like cavern where the makeup stage area is, because it's kind of like, it's a little chaotic because it's actors, alley, and makeup. So we're kind of like button up against like all the chaos, like listen to everybody like talk and like kind of get into character, and we're like trying to get everybody ready, and we're like, oh god. But it's okay. You get to hear the buzz of everyone kind of getting into character, so it's very fun in that.
Now, can we give folks some visuals, because we were just talking about Basement, and I just want to bring up some visuals from Basement, particularly. I gotta remember what I sent you, Robert, but let's go ahead and bring up we'll just rip this Band-Aid off. And the day that I was gifted a very special present. It's the best thing ever. It's the best photo ever. So this photo right here captures my heart. And the last time we had you on TransWorld Live, this is what you were drawing. Is that correct?
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Now, Robert, if we can also show the bike. We can show, yep, that bike right there. Amazing. And then also you let a spectator hijack that bike at some point. And there he is. Tade. Yeah. And so now this courtyard of craziness. Now you don't have to do it with sound, Robert, but if you can show our friend Tade with some symbols. I think you got that video. This was just chaos and craziness and fun.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Tade. Oh, Tade.
Oh my God.
Nicole, what's really, really cool is we get a chance to see so many different actors and actresses. And what's great about Emma, one of the really, really awesome things is that I have seen her, multiple times per season at each one of the shows, and then once during the October run. And she's always in something different. Like there are many characters, in respect to everybody that's got their main character. Emma has diversified. She has a lot of tricks up her sleeve. How many characters do you actually rotate, if I can ask? I don't know if that's you can tell.
Okay, so starting from when I was first just a nurse working inside, I had the idea that I wanted to be an outside actor. And then before we had indoor plumbing, we had to act our way to the bathrooms, which I actually hated. So I was scared shitless, going outside and having to act my way, because monsters don't pee. We don't pee. It's awkward. You're twitching, wait, and you're like, do you want to go ahead of me? I hated it. I said I never want to be outside. And then I came down. I was already dressed up because I wanted to try being a different character one of the nights at Basement, and I came down, and the character is Zoe, which was a diversified, borrowed image from Tessa Zombie, who worked out at, I think, Hollows. I might be thinking about the wrong place, but Tessa Zombie, she's out from Texas.
Okay.
So it was actually a borrowed image from her, and then I kind of just tweaked it to kind of be my own, and then got my own garb for it and everything, because everything is you see it online, and you're like, yeah, I can do something with that. Kind of turns on a light switch. So the makeup concept actually ended up growing and transforming from that. And what's funny enough is that her brother-in-law actually came through the haunt and was like, oh, I can see you're an actual Tessa Zombie fan. I was like, I am. I was like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. I was like, I want to tell her all about it, how much she inspired me. So, but yeah, I never really wanted to be a clown. That was the funniest thing. I just wanted to try it out. I just wanted to try it out. So when I came down, and then Jason looked at me and goes, you're going to be outside. And I was like, what have I done to myself?
It's staying.
I thought, what have I done to myself? I made it so easy because I had made my own mask. I made my own skin suit. I had everything ready to go. Now I have to wear a wig. Now I have to put makeup on. Now I have to wiggle in these little skinnies. I had it down pat. And then what did I do to myself? I turned myself into a clown. since I was Zoe for so long, I had all these different ideas that I wanted to portray, but there was nothing that really fell into the concept of doing these other things because it didn't really fall into the theme of Basement or Shattered. I probably could have done, you know, our traditional vampire style because we had Alucard at Basement, but he had his own shtick and it was great. You know, we don't need more portrays on that. Like he had a great character with his. It wasn't until I got to Disturbia, I was like, I just want to design something whole brand new. So that's when I designed Butcher Baby. Is kind of a combination of, if you remember that terrible movie Fear.com.
Yep.
And then a mixture of the Tooth Fairy from Darkness Falls. Then kind of like an old-fashioned Dr. Barber. So it's just very rustic. It's very Fallout. It's very 1950s. I love pinup style. So it's kind of just a twist and mixture into all of that. And then when I got tired of like kind of putting that on, then I tried on a new one. I tried on a vampire style lady that I got from a costume from Emily Bloom and ended up taking that and dressing that up. And then I got this big wig. The wig inspired it. It was very Interview with a Vampire. So I was like, yes, I want to get that. So tried on a vampire. And then I kind of tried on this different like witchy coven creepy character that didn't really have a gender. It was just bald. And then that was heavily inspired by Courtney Meyer. I talked to her and I was like, hey, I'm gonna kind of do a concept. And I was like, don't think I'm like, you know, tweaking on you at all. And I was like, I just want to borrow it for a night and see how I feel in it. The costume that I got was from, who was it from? Oh my God, I'm spacing on her name right now. But she donated 2 costumes to Disturbia, and I ended up just like throwing it on that night. And I was like, yeah, let's do this. So it's kind of just like spanning out and like discovering like more about it. And that's what I love is like Senecers are like, they've had enough of me. They're like, yeah, just do whatever you want. So they trust me. And I was like, whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to make it work. So
the Senecers are amazing.
They are. We love them. We love them. And we have a question from the audience. And when it comes from Jennifer Luke, it's perfectly appropriate to stop the show because it makes perfect sense. She asks, if you could be any character, the sky is the limit, what would it be? And if you want to think about it, we could come back. Any character.
Yeah. I'm going to think on this.
Okay.
Now, because you're going to be talking about Q acting and because you're going to be talking about, embodying characters and all that in your seminar, I want you, while you're doing that, Robert, I'm going to have you show some other pictures of the Q Line entertainment that was at both Basement and at Disturbia last year. And if you can pull up the baby doll, perfect. Robert knows.
Robert's the best.
You can scroll through these too, Robert, if you want. So what goes into the decisions that are made when it comes to who gets to kind of be a lot monster or in Q Line acting at both Disturbia and at Basement, if you can share that?
So with a lot of what had happened at Basement it was mainly just veteranship of kind of who had been there the longest, who had an established character. And since Ray and I had left from Basement, we had to kind of start letting kids, discover their own banter. Now, we did have a bunch of newcomers come outside this past season and last season that didn't have a whole lot of banter. And we do kind of want to work with that because it does kind of feel like we're throwing you to the sharks, but it's kind of just, you gotta fly before you can run. I don't know. We'll do it backwards that way. But definitely after COVID, dealing with a whole lot of the crowds has been very awkward. So I think after when we actually were open for COVID and working with masks on, it was very hard to communicate, to even have banter, to have back and forth. So you needed to act with body language. You needed to act with having props and tools and noisemakers, because you're not going to get many jumps if you're just up next to someone going, and they're like, what? And you're like, Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's I want to stop you there and just say that that is one of the coolest things that probably did come out of COVID is that we have such dynamic actors out there now that understand the importance of body language and how, you know, things kind of correlate with body movements and becoming unpredictable and utilizing, you know, everything for the scare and the creep all the way around. And yes, Kyle Miller, that is you. And I did want to make sure that I put that in there for you on that. But yeah, so all right. I know. There's so many nice things being said about you. I just want you to know. But one thing that I have wondered too, and I want to know this, is there a backstory you created for Zoe? Like, does she have a family? What's her favorite hobbies?
I think what I've come to discover, and even Fluffy has said this to me, he goes, it's just an extra version of yourself.
I love that.
It's literally just a hyped up, and I portray her as how old she's gonna be 9 now. Yeah, she's gonna be 9 years old. She's as old as I have been haunting, so that's what her age is. She's just an overgrown 9-year-old.
I love that.
She's so dumb. She's super dumb. And I love her to death. But she's too young for how old my knees feel.
I got that. Now, like, I actually want to put this out to the Sonicers. I actually think that a Zoe doll, like an opposite version of like what they have in Sesame Street, would do very well.
A Zoe puppet. Oh my god, a hand puppet. Oh my god, with the little like.
I'm just saying, the last time we were on here, we created it all.
Yes.
I'm just
Magic's happening.
Yeah. But I think like a Zoe like puppet or doll that can be featured in other haunted attractions.
Wait, hold on. The guy who makes the zombie that hooks onto the side of you, and it's just a Zoe doll. That.
All right. That. See.
Yeah.
Creation is going out there.
Let's do it. Oh my god.
Let's do it.
We gotta talk about this.
Have all of my wigs.
Yeah.
All the different versions of them.
I love it. All of it. Oh my gosh. All right. So let's talk really quick about your teaching. You've got a seminar coming up. Tell us everything.
Yes. Well, I'm not so much teaching as we're just kind of speaking on behalf.
Yes.
Teaching is very much in the near future. I would like to start teaching makeup and seminar classes. I just feel like there's a lot more like, you know, I's I have to dot and T's I gotta cross, like, before I can get to that. Because otherwise, if I just like go right into it, I feel like I'm unprepared or underprepared, and then by that time, like the classroom feels underprepared. So, anyway, yes, the seminar that I am going to be speaking behalf on is Japes will be foreseeing the seminar. I'm speaking on behalf with Shane Howard and Tyler Fermanick.
Yeah. Chris, do you want to take this one?
Oh, we love it. We love it. So it is called Making the Wait Worthwhile. Acting in the queue done right. And as you just mentioned, you get to share the stage with Shane Howard. He's from Dead Man Hand, RIP slideshow. Of course, yourself, and then Tyler Fermanich of the Nightmare Forge, who's one of our loved sponsors. We love them very much. And moderated by Japes Palace, our good friend from not only Lost Souls Chicago, but he's also going to be running Ghoul School, which is really cool and an opportunity for the young kids to get their first haunt actor class, get them to teach the ropes, and that's for free with their admission, with a parent's admission to MHC. So we're really excited. But Making the Wait Worthwhile. This is on Sunday from 9:45 to 10:45. Mimosas are optional. And it's going to be you guys sharing tips and tricks about creating the perfect line actors, sharing each of your stories, where you started and where you're at now.
Exactly. And so we're also trying to encourage other people who are also trying to get into line acting, like, hey, these are some of the things that you're going to expect. Not that people are expecting from you, but just to basically act yourself. We kind of don't act for the patrons. Entertain for yourself, and then that in turn will make things more entertaining for everyone.
I can attest to that. I know Nicole can as well. And many of your fans and the people that are watching now, there's many times you'll just be doing whatever you're doing. And maybe somebody's watching, maybe somebody's not. But that's the best part about watching someone of your level of sophistication. Really, you have developed your character so far. You don't need a direct audience staring you in the face, because when you have a crowd of hundreds and hundreds of people that are waiting to get into some of the top haunted attractions in all of the area, the region, and the country, they're going to be watching you no matter what. So you have an audience, and that's what makes your skill even better.
What cracks me up is sometimes when that one person gets that video that you thought nobody was watching you for, and you go back on social media and you're like, all right, that's pretty funny. Like, I didn't think anybody was watching. You're like kicking a rock over in the corner and you're like, look up.
It's amazing. I love it.
Now, Nicole, I have another rumor. Should we put it out there for Emma here to confirm or deny?
Yes.
If you needed another reason, we know that Anthony Glenn's out there. We know that Carly is out there. And if you needed another reason to join Bus One and be a part of the Thursday pre-show convention haunted bus tour that goes to Detroit, that we're going to be seeing Hush. We're going to be seeing Eloise. We're going to be seeing Erebus. And the rumor is that we're going to be seeing Emma at Eloise. What do you say?
Is it true?
It's been a bucket list item since I've heard about the haunt. A whole asylum theme, hospital medical stuff. Give me that. And it's in an actual old abandoned asylum. Give me that. I love that. Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, we have a confirmation. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's right, folks. And if you're on Bus One, you can come to see her first, because we get to go to the attraction first.
Chris, I like how you just did that. Like, put it in there. It was
Love
like,
it,
boom,
love it.
Bus One, let's go.
Now, you want to know one of the coolest surprises that we brought out for MHC last year ended up making a huge impact on some people. Last year, we brought some brand new entertainment that Jen and I actually worked on a bunch of months prior to the show. And then we brought them straight to the MHC costume party on Saturday night. And by popular demand, we debuted right here that the Vaudettes are coming back to the Saturday night MHC costume party.
Yeah.
And Nicole and I got a chance to hang out with Amy. And do you want to know what she talked about?
I heard another rumor.
Yeah, she talked about you, and that you may or may not have shown up at one of her classes, or maybe a couple of her classes.
Maybe like 4.
Oh, you know, who's counting?
So you're basically like a Vaudette at this point.
Basically, shut up, guys.
I just want to be an honorary one someday. I just have a thing.
But how fun would it be? Like, I thought, like, in a distant fantasy, like, if I dressed up as Zoe and then, like, got up on stage with them and, like, but didn't act like I knew any of the moves and was just like,
I know how passionate Amy is, and I know you are too. And I'm thinking, would she love that, or would she be like, get her off the stage? Like,
a big hook comes and just
yes,
wheels me off.
Oh my gosh, how is that experience? Like, now, correct me if I'm wrong. Had you ever seen the Vaudettes perform, or you had not seen them until MHC, and then you made this connection with them?
Yes. Actually, well, I remember Tom got in contact with them.
Okay.
And then he was like, hey, reach out to Amy. I'm sure she would love to, kind of mentor you. Because I when I saw them, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Burlesque style. It's very badass. It's very body positive. She's such a rocker chick. They go to all these like really cool venues. Like, she is such an amazing teacher that honestly, I wish I could have her like as a daily mentor, just to like wake me up in the morning, because she has such an amazing way of teaching, an amazing way of like just hyping you up. She's so fun. But when she teaches her classes to when she's performing on stage, it's just a flip-flop. Like, she is such an amazing body positive icon, just like a fire pistol. So, and that's why I was like, I love that. I love that and I idolize that and I want to be that.
Yeah, same.
That's so cool, like to see kind of that full circle. Like you have people that inspire you, you are inspiring lots of people, and here you are well into your career, over 9 years into your career, and you're still revolutionizing yourself and you're still bringing up new concepts. Proof that all of us, like, learning never stops and you can always recreate yourself. I feel like Oprah didn't even, like, she wasn't even recognized until after she turned 40. So it's really all about the continuing to put in the hard work and being open to new experiences, and look who you met because of it. So
yeah, well, just like how Ryan was saying beforehand on the first panel, like when I sat in on their seminar for Woods of Terror at TransWorld, learning who he was, the type of artwork I followed him right that second as soon as he got up and started talking about his family, his history, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. So I was like Googling him and I was like, all this stuff is amazing. Why have I not heard of you before? And then him saying that he's, now, 32 and just getting now noticed. So
yeah.
No, I mean, that's one of the cool things that, like, I always sit back and, like, again, this imposter syndrome where I'm like, what if there was a really cool, like, show that was on once a week that, like, exposed new and exciting and crazy talent across the industry and, like, brought people from different regions and different like, wouldn't that be so cool?
That's idea. Us. That's us. This is MHC. This is MHC. Right. We're here to do that.
And TransWorld Live, bringing it to you, dropping it, showing it. No, and that's the thing is that, like, I mean, even like when you're talking about the Vaudettes and all that stuff is, and I know for a fact this will happen. Now seeing you not as Zoe on this show, people are gonna be like, oh my God, you're Zoe. You're on TransWorld Live. That's totally gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. It happens at MHC. It happened to Chris and I multiple times. Yeah. And to all of the people that got to see me in the morning in my pajamas running down to try to grab breakfast for my entire family and stopping me along the way and be like, oh my God, are you Nicole from TransWorld Live? I appreciate you. I still appreciate you. But yeah, they're gonna be in the elevator and be like, oh my God, are you Emma effing John?
You're Emma.
Honestly, if you see me with no makeup on, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. You didn't see me. You did not see me.
This isn't.
You might have thought you did, but you didn't.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Oh,
well, obviously, you're going to be a part of all of our entertainment. We really enjoyed having you a part of last year of all of our stage activities, many of our contests. We know you're going to be a part of all of that. And you're certainly going to be a fixture at the Basement of the Dead and Disturbia booth, which is booth 2575.
Yeah, I don't even know that. 2575.
Right.
What I like to ask this question of actors and actresses, and I say us because we always like ask things, but traditionally I don't know why I've gotten the one that I've always asked this, but talk about that bi-directional partnership that is between the fans and the actors and that ability on the show floor. You have this awesome ability to connect and to be able to take pictures and to be able to take just for a second, maybe a little bit out of your normal character that you would be in at your haunt, and to be able to connect, because there's going to be young kids and there's going to be people of all ages that are inspired, and maybe they don't get that chance to take that photo with you or to ask you some sort of cool question because you've made such an impact to them, like Alex Roday's story. Can you talk a little bit about, from the actor perspective, what it means to meet the fans and to be a part of their lives?
Honestly, when I get compliments like that, like even what Alex is saying, I get so bashful. I get super bashful. Like, it's almost like it doesn't even feel like that's really me. Because you kind of just think, hey, I'm just doing this thing because you're like an involvement of a theater kid that was just a misfit and had dark humor. And you finally came into a group of your own people that actually all thought the same way, had the same type of ideas, created certain things, and then people just hone in on that and they want to meet you, and you're like, what am I to you? I'm like, what does this mean? I was like, you're idolizing me, but it's like it's so nice to be able to like speak to them and encourage them and I do want to teach them. I want to teach them so bad, but it's just also figuring out a way to be like, all right, this is how I started, but everybody learns so much differently. So it's like, you know, just sharing ideas, being able to have like the open conversations, having just a safe space of group of people that you can bounce ideas off of. Like, instead of just having like one person to be like, hey, how does this go? Everybody kind of gets in on it, and we're like, well, what if you put this into it? And another person adds, what if you put in this to it? So it's really nice to have like a big group of support people to have that same idea, that visualize that same type of concept, to be able to help you with developing and in your characters and in your artwork style too. So it's not always about criticism, but it's about taking constructive criticism and being able to work with that.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. There's something that really special that happened this year, and I want to invite Nicole. So really, this is all directed towards Nicole, but really anybody can really come to this. Every year, Haunted House Chicago chooses one or two what we call our Actor of the Year. Now, we've named this award after Jim Warfield, who's a legendary actor here in the Chicago market, and a lot of people know him from the Ravens Grin Inn. We'll get more to that. But thanks to Jen and TransWorld, we now have a place to call home. And we would like to invite you, Nicole, and everybody that's watching to be a part of a very special ceremony or moment. Emma was selected as the 2022 Jim Warfield Acting Award recipient, and you can come celebrate with her live when she receives it at 1:45 on Sunday, right on the main stage, and get to hear from her peers and other previous award winners like Alex Woday, like Fluffy, and like many others that are here. So I'd love for you to be there with me, and we get to celebrate you.
I'm tearing up. I just want you to know, because I'm like so incredibly excited and proud. Did you know before this moment this was happening?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of knew, but like to make that announcement right here, right now, I'm like,
I know.
We're about the feels here. We're about the feels.
I know. I didn't even get like a breaking news beforehand.
No.
Like, I just like all of a sudden like saw it drop in the chat over here, and I was like reading it as Chris is saying it, and I'm like, oh my God, something big is happening.
What's so crazy, Chris, is when you called me on the day of to tell me like that I won it, I was straight up head to toe cosplaying Tom Heisman. So I had fake facial hair on and was wearing one of his like Zubas and wrestling tees, and I went out to Spirit and I bought like a fake wrestling like belt, and you called me and you're like, you won. I was like, really? Oh my God, really? Please don't bring it to me right now. And you're like, no, it's okay. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till off season or MHC. And I was like, okay,
that's amazing. That is amazing.
Let me look a little bit better to receive this.
Well,
I'm gonna look at my Tom Heisman cosplay.
Well deserved. And thanks to Jen for offering this wonderful space in our partnership. But now there's a stage where everybody can watch you, and not just those that just happen to be at the attraction that night that we do it. But now we can celebrate all together because your achievements are amazing. And we can't wait to gift you a basket of 9 lemons, no less.
No
that's
less.
Lucky.
No
you
more.
better make sure that's lucky, because if it's unlucky, hunt. I need you to also add my hot sauce challenge award in there that I am so desperately overdue of.
We got to talk about that for just a second.
I won that. You know I won that.
You did. So Nicole, let's
Nicole, you're gonna regret this. You're gonna regret.
I'm already like, even now
that.
I can feel like my inner nose burning, and I'm already like, what did I do? Like, I have to like host.
I can tell you I've not ingested a super hot spicy thing since Milwaukee. I can honestly tell you that.
So first,
No problem.
thank you, and we appreciate your sacrifice. We decided, as Jen kind of talked about on Hunter's Hangout on Thursday, we had this concept of giving back to the fans in a way to kind of torture like owners and managers and icons and stuff like that, and just kind of have some fun. And so we talked about it with everybody, and begrudgingly, like most everybody was like, yeah, it seems like a fun idea. And since we had put this whole contest together, we kind of warned everybody like, hey, if you get out by like round 5, it's not going to ruin your night. You'll be okay. It's fine. And, you know, Emma up there with her 3 compadres decided to keep like egging each other on.
Yeah, I'm real nervous. I'm a super competitive person. Like when I talk about my 10-year-old playing baseball, like you don't understand. If you've ever heard an audio clip of me, like I am behind there full mama bear. Like that kid just hit a grand slam in the like Game 5 of the World Series. Like as soon as there's a competition, like you could have an imaginary trophy, and I'm like, I am in. Like this is happening. I don't know how I got in this position, but I'm real scared, Emma. I'm real scared.
Caitlin put it in the chat there. Not Emma's face in the ice bag or pouring the leftover milk over her face.
No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. But I was the last one to throw up, and I consider that a win.
You did wonderful. She did win with 3 other folks, and unfortunately, it ruined her night.
No, it didn't, because I was Betty Boo Watch at the party later on, but I was only drinking ginger ale.
You did. And can I share what you whispered to me privately when we walked in? So
I don't remember. What was it?
I didn't know your costume for the night, and so so we had walked into the party, and obviously you're in the Baywatch type outfit, right? As like a zombie Baywatch person, and literally
with a tiny puppet shark.
Yeah, 100%. And you've got like the aviators on, and like
oh my god, I remember this. Yeah. I remember this costume. I want to see if I can find it.
I couldn't tell who it was, and you come over and you whisper in my ear, and you're like, "Thanks for the IBS," and I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, I didn't even know it was you, Em. Like, wow.
The thing is, I don't remember seeing.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
But I also remember passing by, like, whoever was like guarding the gates, like between like where the bathrooms were and where the party was.
Yeah.
I would slow run.
Oh my god, wait a second. It was past me.
Yes.
Yes. Talk about a small world.
Oh my god, I don't know if you guys know this, but like I capture everything in my life because one day I'm scared I'm gonna have dementia, but not to worry. I've got you as Baywatch. I'm sending that to Robert right now. That needs to go live. I can't guarantee what I said in that because I might have said something crazy. Because yes, we were. It was me. It was Caitlin from Froggy Spock. It was Nate. It was Eric. It was Tate. Yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny that you just said that. And as I'm like looking, I'm like, oh look, there it is. There it is, right there.
There it is.
Oh my
god, that's excellent.
Love it.
Good times.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that, by the way.
Yeah.
So you want to be Nicole's partner this year? No.
I
mean, I'll be there for the extra support.
Okay.
I'll be there.
Like
I'll be there if you need me to just put it to your mouth.
Okay. Good to know. Good.
But I don't know if I'm gonna do that. My stomach's not made of iron anymore.
No. Same.
No.
Same.
Getting old sucks.
Yeah. My goal is to make it past round 3. That's really where.
Oh, you'll be great.
No problem.
You'll be great. Oh, hey, Em, I don't know if you knew this. We actually boosted it up a little bit. So like the bomb hits at like round 5 now, and the top is 6 million Scovilles. So yeah, that's fun.
All right, so I'm gonna be like, peace out. I will celebrate you all at the bar later tonight. Like that's my goal.
Wait, so then is the last dab still the last dab, or is that now like the second to last dab?
It is the second to last dab.
Oh no.
We had to raise the game. Those poor souls.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
What have you done?
Now wait, we
You're
did
a
talk
monster.
We did talk about this. Wait, Nicole, you may have. We did talk about this on Thursday with Tater. And do you know the highest legal limit right now for hot sauce is 9
Legal.
million? Yeah, that
Legal.
they sell. That
Right.
they sell 9 million Scoville units. But there's a warning on the bottle that says it must be consumed with food. So I figure, like, hey, we should probably not do that. That's probably okay. But 6 million is okay, right? I mean,
Right. I mean,
Yeah, that's the cutoff.
yeah,
You're
the
almost
other,
like the
burns a
you're like
hole
the
in your stomach.
FDA approval. Like, oh, not having so much plastic and like toxics in your plastics isn't so bad, but like we'll put it just at the limit.
that's what we're about here.
I love it. Oh my God. And I apologize to the TransWorld Nation that I sent that to my husband instead of Robert, and Jeremy was like, what's that? And I'm like,
Who's she?
ignore it. Here it is.
There we go.
Here's the video.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
It's perfect.
I was barefoot, just running around like a menace.
I love that for you. Everything for you. Oh my God. Okay, Chris, we got to do a giveaway at some point, right?
We absolutely
We've
do.
got to do a giveaway. We got to do all right, so wait. Let's go back for a second.
Okay.
Fast talk. What is your favorite thing about being part of conventions like MHC and TransWorld?
It's the artistic, creative flow that you feel. Networking with all of the airbrush work people, with all the makeup artists, with all the set designers, with all the prop makers. It's seeing everybody's artistic, creative, like just compatibility, just all come into one place and explode. And then it makes your mind just like fire on all cylinders. You start thinking of all these ideas. I think it's literally just one giant creative juice box.
All right, now another question that I'm going to kind of tweak a little bit because I have a feeling that we asked you this before, so I'm going to tweak it. What is your favorite Halloween or horror character that inspires you the most?
Ooh.
Oh,
She's not usually speechless.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, and you actually kind of stumped me.
Twice in one interview? Whoa.
Well, I guess like it's a mixture between the Silent Hill nurse and just like that very rusty, like industrial type feeling. And then all of the weird movements from that movie Gothica.
Oh.
So it's not so much like a monster as it is just the style of it and how it makes you perceive like a certain like horror environment. So
All right, I love that.
I would probably have to say the Silent Hill nurse. So yeah.
All right, and finally, why do you do this? What makes you love Halloween and haunted houses?
Well, it brings me back to simpler times. No, I just remember always like getting dressed up. My grandma made most of my very first Halloween costumes, which was the typical little tiny devil costume with the fleece pajamas.
Love that.
And then I was a Powerpuff Girl. And then I was who was I? Then I was Dracula. So I wanted to be all my different horror icons. And then it was watching Svengoolie on late Saturday nights in the Chicagoland TV, you know,
Love that.
TV, La La Land. Always inspired like such like spooky, creepy, very fun atmosphere. And that's what I always wanted to be a part of. And then when, you know, all these different movies came out, I started adapting into, yes, I really love this. Yes, I love those lights. I love the colors that it brings. Like as soon as you go to a haunted attraction like a pumpkin farm, it's the smell in the air. It's the feeling of that electricity that you can't really like, that you can't really like explain.
Right.
But there's like a certain type of electricity that you feel. So, and then it's just a suspense. And what got me is like, it's just like an adrenaline rush. When you get your first scare to when you're setting up for your first initial scare of the season, and you're setting up in the room and you don't know what to do, and you're just kind of like looking around, you're waiting for that very first group to come through, and you put yourself in that mindset. That's what I love about it.
Oh my gosh. All the feels. That was amazing.
Wow.
I got a blood rush a little bit, like.
Yeah, right? Like that, just like, yeah. Oh my God. All right. So if you want to meet Emma, and if you want to, you know, experience what Basement of the Dead, what Disturbia has to offer, you guys can meet them. I'm saying them as in all of you and your characters. Meet you and your characters.
I'm split personalities. I'm an enigma. So if you catch me in one.
2575. I know there's so many people that are excited to meet you or see you again. So write that down, 2575. But wait, there's more. We have to give away something, and then we're actually going to keep you for a few extra minutes. Okay. So contest time. This is your alert. We said it earlier in the broadcast. You're going to write in MHC. And then you're going to give your guess or stab at what was the first role that Emma ever played. Hit it.
Let's see if you were paying attention.
I know, right?
Back at the Abyss, in Shanahan.
Got it.
All
Now,
right.
oh boy, people were listening.
Yeah, I love it. Congratulations, Gavin Rogers. You are the very first.
Nice. Good job, Gavin.
Yeah. To get this correct, you are going to be going to the MHC costume party on Saturday night. Go ahead and email myself or Chris. So KRIS@HAShow.com or Nicole, NICOLE @HAShow.com. I love this, and I love all the different answers that are coming through as well. Oh my God. But wait, there's more. Can we have somebody out here that would like to be brought on to speak with you?
Just wants to talk to you for a second. Is
Yeah.
that cool?
Let's go.
Somebody wants to say something. So we got a surprise for you here.
Hello,
ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tiela Halpin from Hell's Gate and Zombie Army Productions.
hey.
So we obviously did not get the hat memo here.
Yeah, we did not. That was a very
New
first
hat.
Dude, it's so wild. We all had such great hats tonight.
Yes, Carly did too, and so did Ryan. And
yeah.
Love it.
Crazy.
Love it. Hi guys, how are you?
Pretty good.
Well,
Is she? Are we frozen?
no, she's
I'm
hanging
not
out.
here.
I'm not getting her at all. I'm just hanging out.
Okay.
She's doing this on my screen.
Oh,
That's all I got. That's all I got for Emma's frozen for. But anyway, hey, I'm great. Oh, now she's drinking. I got her back. There we go.
okay.
Yeah,
Now
we're
it's-
drinking.
now it's-
Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to make sure we started this out properly.
Oh.
Just a second.
Thank you, Tiela. Thank you. Yes.
Someone gift this for me. This is for Chaka.
Love it. Love it.
For
Well,
Chaka.
Tiela, before we left, we let Emma go. Anything that you want to share with her? Because you guys both have these awesome hats and you're pretty awesome people in this industry.
No, it's so wild. The whole time I'm listening to her talk about coming up to the industry, I feel like we were separated at birth. There are so many parallels in our stories of coming up through the industry, including my favorite part of it, the fact that you didn't want to be a clown but ended up a clown.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a clown but ended up a clown in the clown room. You know what I mean? And it's just like how you said it, and I was like, I'm in the green room going. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Well, Em, we can't wait to see you. Please give our love to the Senecers. Thank you so much. You want to check her out before basementofthedead.com, hauntedhousedisturbia.com, and definitely check her out because she's going to be a part of lots of fun and activities. Come see her at MHG. There's only one place. Thanks, Em.
Thank you, guys.
I'm getting that bitterness in the back of my throat now.
Are you? This is
But that's a long time until it got unpleasant. I'm really proud of myself.
And I got to give you credit, the Capri Sun. That's okay.
Fruit punch. It's
I was gonna say, is that
from pepperoni pizza Lunchables.
Oh,
I love that. Those are my favorite. Those
My
little,
husband and I are like 15-year-olds.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
I am beyond excited for this for one reason. I've gotten a chance to talk to so many people in this industry out of costume, and I hardly ever, I mean, very rarely.
Oh yeah,
see you out of
yeah.
costume.
I don't know how many times besides like half drunk at a party I've seen you guys not as her.
No, correct. And we will get into that. So let's save that for a second. So I'm just super excited. When I'm sending Nicole notes earlier this morning, I'm like, I'm kind of giddy. Like all of you, this entire crew, this whole entire cast.
This
tonight,
was a hell of a lineup.
Yeah, really.
To get to talk to you, not in your alter ego, which is just super awesome to me. So I'm just geeking out here.
You know, I can get you one of these made if you want one.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have
one. We can talk about that.
Okay, that's good.
I want one. Me.
Anyway, so silly.
So before we dive into the deep cavern that is the fun stuff of your alter ego, before you even touch that, how did you get started in this industry? Like, where did your process begin, other than what you just shared about with Emma?
It's so funny. This is going to sound so rehearsed, but I've told this story so many times. It was late September 2009. No, but it was late September 2009. But I had just transferred to Columbia, downtown Chicago, to pursue a photography degree. I was finishing my degree. Some friends from the suburbs were going to be at the Music Box up on Southport to see a free midnight screening of the first Paranormal Activity. That's how long ago this was.
My gosh.
And I'm standing in line, and this kid walks by, and I'm like, I recognize him from school and like campus events. I think we're friends on Facebook. Like, just had started randomly friending people because I didn't know anybody when I got there. Eventually, I messaged him on Facebook. He was cute. He invited me out to some event that Zombie Army was throwing at Neo. Rest in peace. And oh God, what a venue. And then and I went to Night of the Drinking Dead with Nick Spence, who is a brilliant illustrator, phenomenal circus artist, just all around great person. And then was like, hey, you want to check out this haunted house that I work for? And I was like, oh yeah, sure. I love horror and spooky shit. I was at Paranormal Activity. Flash forward a couple days later, he's like, okay, we'll show up here. We'll get you in costume and makeup. And I was like, oh, I'm not. I thought I was just going to attend. I'm going to work. I can just do that. I can just work at a haunted house. And God, like 15 years later, I broke up with Nick and still with Zombie Army. And that story always ends with that joke. Nick and I are very cool about everything, so it's mutually funny. Yeah.
It is an awesome story because
I started as a volunteer. That's I think one of the biggest things of it is I was only going to show up for, a couple nights maybe. And they were like, hey, are you free all month? And I was like, yep.
Yeah. It's one of the cool things about your history with Zombie Army.
So interesting.
Exactly. All of your progress, whether you wanted it to be or not, is documented like in video and photos. So we could see you 15 years ago into what you've progressed into now.
Oh yeah. Another parallel with Emma. I also had blue hair very early in my haunt career.
Oh my gosh.
Also working in a medical theme. I mean, she was a vampire first, but her nurse thing, I was just the whole time I was like, holy shit, we're the same person. It was so nuts.
Oh, I love it.
Well, we really quick we've obviously brought Nicole. She is a part of Hell's Gate Legacy. She was there in the very first year, got to see a lot of it in its infancy.
Very early.
And would love, because you do a lot of the PR, you do the social media, you do the photography, in addition to all of these other roles, which we're going to get into. But tell us about Hell's Gate Haunted House. Tell us about what Zombie Army does.
Gosh, where to begin? There's so much. I mean, I think one of my favorite bits of lore, not like of the history, the story of Hell's Gate, but the lore of like it coming to be is John bought the web domain hellsgate.com 10 years before it ever opened in 2016.
Yeah.
So he had that stuff locked and loaded and ready to go. The website was existed 10 years before everything. It just wasn't public. Like, this has been like his dream for so long, and he's been digging up and developing this narrative and these characters and this idea for so long, that it's such a deep story. And I think it's really interesting to do something like that with such a narrative. That's the whole thing Zombie Army is all about, is it's very theater based.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about how we're theater people that make haunted houses.
Yeah.
Which is in the cases, especially at Hell's Gate, I feel like that rings really true. There's a very strong acting core there, but it's that depth of story and narrative that I think really make it unique and help the audience get invested as well. It feels special.
Yeah,
it is special. It is, from an audience perspective, it is very special because you're a part of, and I know it's part of the tagline, it's part of the marketing, but you are part of the adventure.
For sure.
Yeah. It feels like the story is constantly evolving around you, and you're not only just moving through scenes, you're a part of that, man. It's an innovative,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's an innovative but fully encompassing process.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the best parts of my job as a photographer and doing social media is basically just getting, like, I spend a lot of time on the midway, sure. But I get to go and see the whole show. I get to go up to the landing and the tent, go check out how the bar up there is going. I'll go mess around with groups as they're waiting to go into the woods. I'll go jump out at people in the woods sometimes. And, I get to see the show from so many different angles and see guests react to it. And it's just, it's the best. It's the best thing. The freedom because of my position is really special over there. It's really cool.
Now,
I'm spoiled a little bit.
I think you're very good at what you do. And we want to do a deep dive into that just to kind of close the book on everything that Zombie Army does. You guys just don't do haunted houses. I know you do parties, but can you talk a little bit about Days of the Living Dead and this little small venture called Legacy Adventure Park?
Yeah. Oh God, all of our side projects. God, Days has been going on for so long. Gosh, it's been like 10 years? 10 years at least since Mike and Chris, the brilliant minds behind Days of the Living Dead. God, the work that those men do. I'm so in awe of them.
Yeah.
They did my wedding video in 2020, by the way.
So they're for hire. No.
Oh yeah. And they're good at what they do, so they're not too cheap, but they're affordable. Anyway. It's been at least 10 years that they've been doing it. And there was kind of like a proto Days of the Living Dead with another group of filmmakers before that, like in the very early years when I had first gotten started. I don't even know if any of those videos are really around anymore. I probably should. I've already said too much. But such an incredible show. And it's so much fun for me to watch as someone who is often there. It's really fun to kind of see their perspective on it and just how they can highlight the humor and the sometimes tragedy, rest in peace Container 9 zombie containment, of the wild things that happen to us. Like, how crazy that we were in a position to be a haunted house who had something as catastrophic as 100-year storm sink a brand new haunted attraction into Lake Michigan. And we had a fucking camera crew with us. Like, who's
right,
like a proper camera crew, not like vertical cell phone footage. We had me with my professional camera and then the camera crew like running to Navy Pier. John's like, I'm going to book your Uber for you. Get here. It's incredible to have these guys in this team working with us to document what is a really unique industry and business and group of people, frankly. It's dope. But
not to compare it to The Office, from a mainstream perspective, but I have heard that comparison before. And at the end of The Office, they always talk about how it was a gift to be able to see these characters progress over the years. That kind of brings me full circle to my point from the beginning was I can go back and watch you guys very early Statesville and get a chance to see that.
Babyface Jeff Walker and Kyle and Shaka and all of them. They look 12. It's insane.
Oh, there's video footage that I didn't even know existed that those guys pull up. And it's just so cool that you guys documented that.
Where they did the Statesville documentary. Some of the footage and stuff that they had was just it's so emotional.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Now,
they're brilliant.
We had Anthony Glenn on last week, and we talked.
My love.
We talked so passionately about Mother and all of the origins, and being one of the obviously iconic parts of that entire story and the haunt. And obviously, Katie continues with that legacy now, and we love him for all of that. Plus, he might have
so brilliant.
Oh yeah. Plus he might have the best background of anyone we've ever interviewed. So I think that's pretty awesome. His whole thing. But let's rip the Band-Aid off. We know you, we love you for Tiela, but we certainly idolize you for your alter ego. Of course, everyone knows her as Buna. And there she is.
I can't believe I'm showing this to the internet. This was a gag gift. This was a gag gift I got my husband for our anniversary because he puts up with me being gone all October. I married a normie. So he was all around. And so I made sure that he had the most accurate representation of me to keep him company all October.
I love that. That is incredible.
It's really soft.
Nicole, was Jeremy a normie before?
No.
Did you bring him in? Okay. He was already in. Okay.
In fact,
like proper normie, wants nothing to do with the industry. It's kind of refreshing.
Yeah, no, little known fact, like he was more of the muggle than I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Jeremy was, my husband very much was on our second, or maybe it was like our fourth date, we were literally watching the Da Vinci Code, and he scared the crap out, to the point where I was like mad, and I was like, I'm going home. That is enough. That is
no.
What you've done to me. But really, looking back, it's hilarious because I was like, that was brilliant. That was amazing. Setting the stage, setting the scenario, I was terrified. Yep. No, that was him. Yeah.
So for all of you that may not have gone to Hell's Gate or had the same experience that Nicole and I have had in the past and been honored with that, and thank you, John, and the entire Zombie Army for that opportunity. But we get a chance to hang out with Buna, who is our special, dedicated guide. And what's great about Tiela's portrayal as Buna, or when Buna just takes over, is she doesn't break. Everything that she has to do with your multiple hats that you have to wear throughout the entire attraction, you do it as Buna with the accent, constant. I mean, I find it phenomenal.
Thank you. It's very humbling. A lot of it comes from I was an old school theater kid, hardcore musical theater, full nine. I didn't go to school for theater. I didn't go to college for theater, and everybody was like, "What? Why are you not going to study? I thought you were going to go to Broadway or whatever." And I was like, "No, I want to take pictures." But I found a way to still be involved and do something that was like theater, that also played to my kind of macabre sense of style as well. And I was, what was that? I was talking to John about the old Fear at Navy Pier, the first haunt that I worked for, not the shipping container one that we lost, but the one that was the mobile trailers, right? That one they eventually burned because it had really bad mold growing inside of it, because it was all but none of my original haunts exist. Hell's Gate is the only one left. All three of the other haunted houses that I've worked for literally no longer exist. It's so weird.
They just appear off the face of the earth.
Yeah. But that Fear, oh my gosh, it the whole thing with the mobile trailers, I totally lost my train of thought because I was talking about how all of my haunted houses are gone.
That's okay. That's all right.
That's okay.
God, but there's been so much over the years, you guys, so much.
Okay, but you were talking about where you pulled the inspiration for Boone.
Oh yeah, yes. But because the Fear was at Navy Pier and it was downtown in an urban space. I had talked about how I wanted to come up with a line character that was like a cart pushing bag lady, because there was a prop, I cannot remember who made it at the time, that was a shopping cart with a monster pop out So you'd hit a button and the trash would be a monster inside. And I was like, I could be a bag lady pushing that cart and I can walk up and down the pier to let people know, like, hey, there's a fucking haunted house down here. Come check it out.
Oh my God,
And
I
I was
love
like, yeah, she'd be like this little old Russian bag lady. And she'd be like a street gypsy, like an urban gypsy. And that was like light bulb. And I was like, John, could I do that kind of thing at Hell's Gate? Do like that kind of like traveling witch character? And he was like, yeah, put something together. And then I literally pulled pieces of costumes out of our costume loft. Like literally the day we opened, I was like, this skirt and this shawl, can I cut this? Okay, this. And I threw on an accent and I had Cray paint some crazy eyebrows on me. And that was it. She was born.
So now
id.
I have a photo or a couple photos that I've already sent Robert of me and Boona.
Oh God.
And it's amazing and it's wonderful.
The face. I knew I was
Yes.
going to have to be making some kind of face. Oh,
Amazing.
Yes.
And then there's another one from TransWorld. Oh wait, yeah.
Oh,
that's
the
Boona on my
caravan.
cart. My gypsy.
Oh, the
Yeah, I know.
caravan. It's so gorgeous.
I know.
I told John, I was like, John, it's like 20 grand. Can't we just get it?
You deserve too.
He's like, that's our whole budget. No. Damn. I'm like, well, Derek's going to build me one.
Yeah, there you go.
He
Yeah.
could, but he won't.
No, they're fantastic. They really are.
Gorgeous.
But yeah, the character itself is so evolved and so in depth and so like. How long have you been Boona?
Probably my entire life. Similar to what folks were saying.
Yeah.
Again, another parallel with Emma is it's kind of like a different end of the spectrum where Zoe is like this kind of more like childlike, dumbed down version of her. Boona is just like the gross, gritty version of me. It was actually Chris Sato from Yokai, who does Days of the Living Dead. I was getting my makeup done in the Days of the Living Dead booth at TransWorld years and years ago. And he walked up and goes, oh, here comes the id, which is in Freudian theory. There's the id, ego, and superego. And the id is basically just like the most raw version of myself. If there were no societal expectations or anything like that, what would I be like? Boona. I'd be vulgar and a little aggressive and very, very honest. Whereas I am much more non-confrontational and like, I'm so nice and I'm the friendliest person. No, Boona just is kind of an ass. Like I get paid to be a dick to people and they love me for it. It's real weird.
Yeah, seriously.
I love it. I love it.
It's like I'm like cool with people, but I wouldn't say I'm nice to anyone. Like I'm also not really scary either. Like I look gross and I'm kind of nasty, but I'm not scary. I just kind of walk. I'm a distraction. I walk around and talk to you so that fucking Alex Wode can jump up and chainsaw you in the back of the head or something.
I love
it. I mean?
I love it.
With the little bitty one. Ring, ding, 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 ding.
It's teamwork.
Yeah, and so update from Alan Hobson
Set 'em
with
up,
Scare
knock 'em down.
Factory with that shopping cart.
Oh,
Scare Factory. There you go.
Yeah,
that makes sense. It doesn't
yeah.
work in the woods now. That's the thing. It's like you come all the way around.
yeah.
Alan also says this lady, meaning you, is awesome. I see her a few times a year, and it's a joy every time.
One of my favorite props is a snap fan that I bought from Alan at TransWorld a few years ago. Because one, I have a lot of layers. I get very, very hot, so I needed a fan anyway. And it's really the only kind of like volume is the only scare I actually have, whether it's my voice or that fan. Pop! It's real good.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that.
So thank you, Alan, for keeping me cool.
So now, as you've kind of grown within this character and evolved and all that, have you taken on different versions, or has it just been like a perpetual build every year?
It's definitely evolved. I wouldn't necessarily say different versions, but there are, as I've grown as a person and as an actor in this regard, there are certain elements of the character that have definitely changed. Like there were certain kind of stereotypy, tropey things that were early on because I was just so entertained by the idea of this character and everything. And there were things that okay, maybe we won't do this silly, like using the actual G word. We do try not to use the G word anymore, even though very early on, it's like, well, that's what she is. I just want to be sensitive to that kind of thing. But she's different. She was a little bit, and because her role within the story changed as well. It wasn't just so much at like, oh, I'm just kind of trying new stuff. It was, oh, I have to change things in order for it to fit with the story, because now she's a part of that story, because she wasn't originally. Buna was just a character for me to play instead of just a costume, which is what I did my first year at Hell's Gate. I just kind of wore a costume so I looked like I should work, like I worked there, and didn't have a character yet. But then we get to Buna, and I was like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, there's so much I could do with this, that I just was grabbing all of these references. And after a little bit I was like, oh, I don't want to use those anymore. And so in that regard, she's changed. She's a little, I won't say softer, because she's definitely still gross and awful, but she's way chattier. Way chattier in the sense that I would glare at people a lot. But I eventually realized and kind of decided, I guess I realized like she's a real person, and I learned it about her instead of this is someone I made up and I'm making actively these decisions about her background. Buna's not dead. She's very much alive. She's 127. But like Bilbo and the Ring in Lord of the Rings, the power of the darkness is keeping Buna alive as kind of like a backup in case someone tries to close the gate, and all maybe a little bit of a reward for letting it out in the first place, like you and me, girlfriend. Like, yeah. And so Buna's just like, fuck, I'm stuck here now. Guess I better make the most of it. So she knows all about what's going on TV, and like, she watched Buna definitely knows what happened on Succession. She's really excited to find out what happens on Ted Lasso. She knows about social media and cell phones. She's current. She's not anachronistic like a lot of the rest of the cast in the show, who are from an Edwardian kind of 19 teens time period. Buna's like hip with it.
Nicole, we did, Buna and I did an interview at the Schaumburg MHC, and we talked about the ending of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's what was popular at the time.
Amazing.
That's exactly it.
Okay, so wait, I gotta go back to something, because I gotta ask something, and there's a whole reason I was going on this, because one of the things that I know about kind of, I shouldn't say shock value characters, or characters that were able to be very raw. Like I think about like Tater's characters. Just like coming to mind, right? Like Granny, 1,000%. Granny paved the way for a character like Buna. I could not do what I do as Buna if Tater didn't have a vulgar character like that. Right. That was at the very least female presenting. Right. Well, no, but one of the things is like, especially with vulgar characters, and as times are changing, and like Alan, I just literally picked up my cell phone and took a picture of Zagani in place of the G word, because
Zagani's good. I like that.
This has been a big thing.
That's so helpful. We just call her a wood witch.
Yeah, right. We just showed Tiela on the traveler cart that is currently sitting at our haunted attraction. Right. And it's going to be a major part of our midway this year. And it was part of our booth for intrigue at the show. But anyway, that's one of the biggest things, right? Because there's so many people that are absolutely inclined to it. And we have so many other very aware individuals of where the times have gone and where the times are going.
Absolutely. And even just in a few years.
Right. But you've
got playing the character
a couple of months to kind of blend it together and make sure you get it right. And especially in the haunt world, like there's so much evolution that's happening the other 11 months. How do you kind of sort that out every single year and have the power that you have, especially as Buna, and like, once you say something, you can't necessarily take it back.
Right. Everything's recorded. There's cameras and phones everywhere. Yes. I guess you just gotta be like, do your best, obviously. And just be aware. The most you can do is be aware. And like, I try to just like take people at their word. If like, this is something you're telling me you're experiencing. Okay. If you say this is a thing, then that's a thing. Okay. Like if it's not something I have personal experience with myself, I kind of just got to take you at your word. Right. But, when it comes to that kind of thing, like I made sure that I was like I looked up authentic names when I was picking a character name. I've, looked into the history of the country and the culture and found out like where I wanted Buna where her family was going to be from. And I was like, oh, it actually used to be Transylvania. The part of Romania that her family's from was originally Transylvania, which goes into this whole like, oh, that's a really interesting Vlad the Impaler connection. I wonder, could they be related? And then you got all these fun things to go with. But like taking into account, if you're going to do anything with some kind of, cultural sensitivity, like this kind of a character, or like, I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. Like, if you've got like, kind of characters that are set from a specific time and place, it's important to look at that time and place. And so looking at that kind of stuff and researching, I've been trying to learn Romanian for years because I want Buna to be able to, I want her to be able to swear at people in Romanian, but maybe also speak Romanian. And I feel like if I'm portraying effectively the Romani culture in a very kind of loose way, I feel like being able to speak the language does some respect to that culture in a way. It's also a really beautiful language when you listen to it. It's just really, really hard to learn.
It adds that like extra authenticity, it
feels so silly to be like, I learned how to speak another language for a haunted house character. What is my life?
That's exactly it.
Appreciation, not appropriation. Thank you, Alan. That is exactly the phrasing that I want to say it. That I want to go with, because that's what it is. It's because I think the culture is incredible. Yeah. And I have Lithuanian background, and there were definitely Romani people that made it up to Lithuania. That's my bare minimum justification that I can get away with, but I can't. I can't. I really actually can't, and I know that. So I have to care.
All right. So now a lot of talk about Buna. Major question.
God,
are we going to see Buna at MHC?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That can't get rid of that bitch. No, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it this year, or if I was going to make it this year, because I am a freelance photographer. I've actually got a wedding on Saturday night. Some Statesville haunt kids, actually. I say kids, like they're children. Yeah. They're in their fucking 30s or whatever. At least late 20s, but they're getting married on Saturday, and they were like, of course our wedding is the same weekend as MHC. So Saturday night I'll be still partying with some haunters. There'll be a few people at the wedding instead of at MHC. Sorry. But then Chaka was like, hey, you're in the booth on Sunday. And I was like, fine, I guess. So Buna will have coffee and not Malort on Sunday morning. That's okay. Unfortunately.
All right.
So maybe put a little Irish cream in the coffee, but no Malort that early.
But even though you're at the booth, it sounds like, Chris, take this away. We're going to be making sure that her time here is well spent.
Getting the most out of me, huh?
Very much so. Which we've already committed you, whether maybe Buna didn't tell you about that, but Buna's already given us a commitment that she's going to be a part of the Monster Match game along with Nicole and myself for another year.
It's so funny.
Fun, whimsical things.
Yeah, it's so fun. I love all the games that we've played at MHC. Even though Buna wasn't chosen for the dating game, it was still a lot of fun to play. And then all the obstacle course we did a couple years ago. That was the wildest thing.
It's coming back.
Oh my God.
I'm excited.
So fun.
And then
so much fun.
Obviously, we definitely want Tiela or Buna, whoever shows up, to be a part of.
Be half and half.
Exactly. Tiela is also a Haunted House Chicago Jim Warfield Acting Award recipient, and she's going to help us present it to Rachel and Brianne this year. So we're very, very excited for that. Can I ask one question about Buna? See, I think this is pretty important. Shane, and this is kind of where the inspiration. Shane in the chat had said, hey, do you have any tips for new line actors? And I want to pause that for a second. You can answer that however you'd like. For those that haven't gotten a chance to see you in person, I think you're part of a new breed or a hybrid of actor or actress that's out there. I think we're normally accustomed to, hey, you're going to work this room, this area. You're either going to be inside or you're going to be outside. And you in your role get to go everywhere. So you are outside. You are in every room. And quite frequently when we're going through tours, you'll assimilate into whatever the theme of that room is. And I really I think it's very important to bring that attention to that, because that is an incredible skill to play in every single setting, and to be able to do it, to make it believable and to not make it annoying. I think that is incredibly awesome.
Thank you. No, yeah, it all that whole thing that basically you're talking about the like how I would jump ahead of the group from room to room. So
Yep.
I know Anthony talked about the Hell Pass on
Yes.
last week's episode.
Yeah.
That's how that like bit that I do sometimes started is for the first year we were open, the wonderful Jordan was doing Hell Passes, and they were kind of in their like proto Hell Passes in their infancy. We hadn't quite figured it out yet. But then she went to go be a badass botanist and moved to Colorado to do school and stuff. And they're like, we need someone else to do Hell Passes. And they're like, oh, how about we get the one person who like can't shut up? Like that's a great person to go have given escort. And so they were like, yeah, Tiela, go do this, especially since I had a pretty solid character by that point. And as a part of what I would do is I would have the radio and I would like kind of update room leaders and alphas like, oh, they're coming into the library, Hell Passes in the girls' room and stuff like that. And as a result, we have a bunch of secret passages and like nooks and crannies and ways to get in for the actors to get to their spaces without the audience seeing them as much as possible. And so I would just utilize those because I knew where they all were. And I got such a kick out of the Hell Pass and other customers, not even in the Hell Pass. I'm like laying on the bed in the twins' room, like, hey guys, and they just saw me in the greenhouse. And then next thing they know, I'm up in one of the boxes in the attic, and they're like, you were just behind us. How did you? And I was like, I'm a witch. I'm triplets. And like I'd say all this goofy, dumb stuff. And it was so much fun for me. And and I was still doing my job. I was still radioing and keeping track and like taking their pictures and stuff. But it was so much fun that I just kept doing it. And sometimes if I was like watching the show in the front room, I'd be like, I'm going to follow that kid with the white hoodie. And I would do that and pop through rooms, not even a Hell Pass. I wouldn't really say anything. I'd just be there. And that's a funny thing. If people ask me for tips about being a line actor, I never would have called myself a line actor until someone pointed out, but like, yeah, you work outside and you interact with everyone. That's what line actors do. And I was like, I couldn't last in our tent. I certainly couldn't have lasted in the Statesville tent. Like what those kids do is absolutely incredible. What Alex and Jesus and Colin are able to do, and Devin, Jesus, the way Devin will contort herself. And of course, the OG of the tent, good old Fluffy. Like that's not, I've never considered myself that. I'm flattered that anyone would say that I could do anything like they do, but I'm like an actor, like with a capital A is how I've always looked at it more as a different interaction that I tend to have with people. Because like I said earlier, I don't think I'm scary. I'm gross to look at as Boona. But I've never, it's wild to get asked. I think the best thing you can do just in general as an actor is don't be afraid to look kind of stupid. That's the best thing, because ultimately it's just going to be a small moment. Look stupid. Like don't be afraid of it, because whatever, if nothing else, you probably made somebody laugh.
I was just gonna say that you'll probably be a memory. If you feel stupid or look stupid doing that, you're gonna be somebody else's hilarious moment, you know.
We talk about that here. You're not going to be able to scare everybody all of the time, but you can entertain them. And I think arguably
John's whole mantra for the industry is, well, at least they're having a good time.
That's it. And you may be one of the funniest people. And to Nicole's point, you're going to give them a memory.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Boona's funny. I don't think I'm funny. Boona's funny. It's or I think Boona's funny, but I don't think I am. It's weird. It's very separate.
It's an imposter
her
syndrome.
and I.
No, I know. It's
weird.
weird.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I just leaned into the camera a lot for that. I'm sorry. I felt that in a visceral way.
That's what we do. We bring out the feelings here on TransWorld Live.
Love that.
Oh my God. There's times that I like all of a sudden see a comment and I'm like, oh my God, that's right. We're not just having a FaceTime call. Here we go.
No, it's free.
Oh, right.
It's
I'm like,
real.
oh, there's like other people here. Shit.
No.
We love asking this question because I think it's awesome. MHC gives us that platform where we have the ability to bring characters out of their main element, and you get a chance to hang out on the floor with a lot of people that are mismatched from different houses. You get to interact.
Yeah.
And you get that chance with the fans to be able to talk to them a little bit more and not have to continue moving, to take extra pictures, stuff like that. What does that mean to you from that actor perspective? Like, if all these people want to take, I mean, I watched you in previous MHCs and like the line is just crazy long. Like people just cannot wait to meet you and to talk to you and to hear you do the voice and to just go through it, to let them know what it makes you feel like. Can you let them know from an actor perspective?
It's really flattering. I think the most surprising thing though is when I'm walking around as myself out of costume and I just hear Bruna and I'm like, what the who knows me? Who knows me? You know? And it's so flattering because like I'm like almost embarrassed about how much I care about this character and how much like thought I've put into it. It feels silly, but like I give a shit. And it's been so much fun for me. And it is this really cool outlet. So when people appreciate it and people like remember conversations that they've had with me on the loud ass midway at Hell's Gate while children are screaming in the bubbles, I'm like, oh my God, you're that guy. How good to see you. I mean, how good to see you. It's so crazy. I have to I should probably practice. I haven't done the voice in a while. I gotta.
Okay, wait. I'm so geeking out there. Like, do you know, like the first time you see like your animated favorite, like the real people that voice it, and you get a chance to like see them, like that's what
that
you
was just
did.
one of those moments.
Yes.
To see me without the makeup on do the voice. It's really weird. It's weird for me to do it. It's weird for me to do it, let alone. Well, because it's funny because it's basically just I say all the time. People are like, oh, how do you stay in character so easily? And I was like, because it's just me with an accent, and the accent really enables me to be gross because it's like it's a little bit of Triumph, the insult comic dog, that Rottweiler puppet with the cigar from Conan. Remember that?
Yes.
Listen, watch a clip of Triumph, the insult comic dog, especially the one where he goes to the Wiener Circle in Chicago, and close your eyes and listen to the cadence of the way that puppet, the actor who does the puppet talks, and you'll be like, holy shit. Holy shit, Tiela plagiarized her entire character.
Inspired. It was
inspired.
And the thing is I didn't realize it. I didn't plan that. It wasn't until I saw a clip and I was like, oh my God, why did that make me have like haunted house PTSD? Like, why am I thinking about October? And I realized it was because I heard myself in that voice. And that was when I went, this must have influenced me on some like deep subconscious level, this character and this bit, because I loved Conan. Conan was my talk show guy. And so I watched so much of Triumph's stuff, for me to poop on. That's something you can hear Boona saying, right? For me to poop on. That's absolutely like, oh, this is a nice haunted house for me to poop on. That's come on. That's it. That's
just further proving there is no real original ideas. There's only
everything's borrowed and rebooted.
Yeah.
Everything's a remake.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So
even Hell's Gate is technically a reboot, right? It's based on another haunted house from the 80s. It's another reboot.
Mind blown.
Yeah. So now, okay,
brilliant.
You're going to be at the Hell's Gate booth, but who else is going to be there? Chris, do you know this?
I do. If you don't,
I do.
Okay. So
I thought you were asking me. It's hard to tell because we're all looking at each other.
No, that's okay. If you know, go for it. But I do have the answer.
Well, honestly, it's me, and that's the only one that matters, right? Actually, on Sunday, I get to share my Sunday with the one, the only motherfucking Slider Jesus. Catch Boona being a fangirl. I tell you what, she gonna need it. Oh God, he's gonna hate that I'm talking like that too. Talking about how cute Slider Jesus, he's so cute. But also super cute. We have one of the twins on only Saturday, portrayed by the lovely Mr. Roxy. Only one of the twins. There's scheduling conflicts. It has something to do with the writer's strike. I'm not totally sure, but we've only got one twin on Saturday.
One's better than none.
And then I'm sure Anthony has probably mentioned brilliant, incredible character reworked. There's some new stuff in the costume I hear for Hoax, which is such a dope character. I'm so excited.
He showed us some pictures, and then Kate may have slipped a couple she took, and can't wait.
So hyped.
Cannot wait.
Yes.
And then we know you're going to be a part of some of the stage activities, so we're going to have some fun with that.
Oh yeah, any chance to get on a microphone, I'm in.
We also like that too. It's
Me too. Me too.
Buna brings out the fun in this industry. Like, we talk about the family, we talk about taking care of each other and succeeding together and struggling, but we also do it for fun. And while there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, and a lot of people invest all of their emotions and their money and everything to make sure that we entertain people, Buna gives us something different. We get to laugh with her and at her at the same time. And that's the best part. So we can stand up on stage doing a skit to entertain the fans when you're entertaining us.
Oh yeah, no, it's something special to be able to, it's part of why it's like I keep saying, as Buna's not scary. She's way more about the entertainment. If she can gross you out, then bully, like, that's a bonus. But ultimately, I'm just thrilled to be invited. I'm one of those. Like, oh, me? Okay. Who the fuck am I? I'll come.
We love it.
I love it. I love it. All right. So now we're getting to one of my favorite parts of the show. This is the heavy hitting questions.
Oh shit.
All right. What is your favorite part about being part of TransWorld and MHC?
Oh, you know what? I really just love chain smoking in front of hotels.
Okay.
Okay. Right. There we go.
No. Of course not. Of course. I mean, that's definitely fun. I love smoking until my throat hurts. But in all reality, it's, maybe I am funny, you guys.
You are.
It's the people. It's the people. I've met some of the most beautiful, brilliant, talented, creative, just odd people working in this industry. And then my favorite are the sleeper weirdos. Like, looking at you guys, I wouldn't think you guys were creepy weirdos.
Oh, I'm a
creepy
weirdo.
And I love that. I love that about this industry. There's weirdos who look like weirdos.
Yeah.
And then there's normal weirdos. And I think it's a beautiful thing that we all come together and hang out, and we talk shop, we talk character. We go to classes together, we have jokes, we get drunk, we dance like crazy people.
Yeah. We sing at the top
people. It's 1,000% the people. That's what's great.
I just got to share a story. So here I was today. I have a million things to do for MHC and all this other stuff, but I had a PTG shift, right? And here I am sitting there, and my favorite question is when people ask me what I do, because I don't know how else to explain it, right? And then they're like, well, what does your husband do? And I'm like, he works for me. And they're like, wait, what? Hold on a second here. They're like, what do you mean? And so, like, I kind of have like an elevator pitch, right, to it to a certain degree. And they're like, so hang on a minute here. So like spirit Halloween costume, like that. And I'm like, no. You have no idea. I'm like, I don't know how else to explain it. I'm like,
every time it comes up, especially when Statesville was kind of like in its heyday, I'd mentioned something about haunted houses, and they'd be like, oh, which one do you work for? And I'd be like, oh, I work at Statesville. And people would just be like, oh, it was the weirdest. And I was like, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just got real cool all of a sudden. And it's such a weird experience. But working for so many different attractions has been probably the wildest part of it, and having like all of these different stories and concepts to be able to try and like express to people. They're like, what do you do? What do you mean you work for haunted houses? So it always comes up nowadays when I bring it up, or someone asks, I'm like, oh, I work for a production company that specializes in haunted houses. Because there's movies and short films that Zombie Army does. Like John's got a movie that he was producing and acting in and writing on called Good Guy with a Gun, that's been doing the film festival circuit and like winning awards, like really well. That filmed all over the property at Hell's Gate and in Lockport, and that was a big, our company helped with that. There's Mole Man of Belmont Avenue that they did way back in the aughts. There's Legacy, we mentioned earlier, Legacy Adventure Park, paintball, airsoft, that's all run by Zombie Army. Like Saturdays and Sundays, Kyle LaFlamboy and a lot of our other staff like Slider Jesus and Chunks and all of them and Audra, they'll all work at the paintball park in the morning, and then 4:30, 5 o'clock when the park closes, they'll walk across the fields and come down to Hell's Gate to work the show until fucking 2 a.m. Like the team that we have is absolutely incredible. The work they do is bonkers.
Amen.
Yeah.
So telling people that, starting with production company.
Yes.
I don't say on my CVs and resumes, it doesn't say Zombie Army Productions. It says ZA Productions, because Zombie Army is going to throw some recruiters off if you're applying for like anything kind of buttoned up. Not that I'm applying for anything that's buttoned up. That's not who I am, but just in case.
Right. No, I love it.
They ask weird questions when they see zombie on a resume. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine all the way around. So now, above all of this, why do you do this? Why do you love Halloween? Why do you love haunted houses? Why do you love the industry?
Oh God, there's so many different things. It's like I've already talked about, you know, that I got into it because ultimately it was a really cool, really unique outlet for the acting that I missed doing. Because when I got to Columbia, it was very departments within, you know, the disciplines were very segmented. So because the acting majors needed roles in plays to get certain credits, it was really hard for someone who wasn't in that department to be involved. So I had kind of like given up on even just acting for fun. And so I found this and I was like, it's just this incredible creative outlet that I didn't realize that I needed as much as I did. Because I started on a whim. It was like, oh, this cute boy invited me to do a thing. And then I was like, oh no, this is something visceral that I needed in my life.
Yeah.
And it was like within like 2 weekends, I was like, well, I'm probably going to do this until I die. Cool.
Yeah.
It just was like, it just clicked. There was just the energy. I hate to be like an old millennial using like Zoomer terms, but like the vibe, man, it was straight up the vibe. No cap. I don't even know what that means.
No cap.
Yeah, I love it. You're doing great.
But it is,
Right.
there's an energy. There's an energy that really, really speaks to me. So, I can't really explain it better than that.
Like most of us, our obsession with Halloween started way before we got into haunted houses.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What is your favorite Halloween or horror character of all time?
Okay. So I get a little bit of flack for this because it's not traditional horror.
That's okay.
But my very favorite horror movie is a horror comedy. And you may already know this if you see me, if you have seen any of my posts online. I fucking love Heathers. It is the most incredible dark comedy, not traditional horror, right? Dark comedy. There's horrible murder and weird, crazy shit going on. And you have a villain who is psychotic and a very bad person. There is just something so fascinating to me about Heather Chandler, the red Heather, the Heather.
Yeah.
Her character is way, when you get into it and you watch the movie, she's way more not diverse. She's got more layers than you expect. You get these little peeks into her as being like a teenage girl who's trying to be cool and hang out with the college guys. And maybe she doesn't really want to do it. But she has this persona she has to keep up. And so she's just like this awful bitch, but maybe she doesn't really want to be an awful bitch. And it's just fascinating to me that in the middle of this dark horror with ridiculous lines that are with ridiculous dialogue, like I love my dead gay son, you have this surprisingly dimensional character in what is effectively, you know, a blonde bimbo bully character. It's really interesting. I just really love Heathers, and any excuse to talk about what a great movie it is, I want to take. But I think Heather Chandler is a really interesting villain in that kind of a film.
I love
even more so than JD. Love Christian Slater, fantastic. But I think Heather Chandler is more interesting.
Okay.
I love it. All right, Chris, do you want to ask the closing question of the evening?
I do.
But tickets to a party.
That's it. That's exactly it. Before we do that, we want you to come see her. It's booth 2561, hellsgate.com, zombiearmyproductions.com.
Also booths 2559 and 2557.
I'm pretty sure you guys have the whole block.
We've got like a whole chunk. Yeah.
So come check them out. Come check Buddha. Come check the entire Zap team. And they're going to hang out with you. If you were paying attention. So we try to do some, we know it's late. We know that
I've talked a lot.
You've done great.
You've done
kind of my thing.
This is a mega size episode.
Yeah,
and
we knew going in.
We're going to give you a bonus here. We're going to give you 2 tickets to the Saturday night costume ball, just because you hung with us. Okay, so.
And there's still more. So wait, there's more.
Yeah, but wait. All right. Have you been paying attention? The question is, how old is Buna?
Ooh, that's a good one. I had to do
Isn't
the
it?
math on my calculator just a minute ago.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad
Go
you
ahead.
did. So it's gonna be
Ask me
I
when
would put
Buna's
in
birthday is.
Buna.
After we pick our winner, ask me when Buna's birthday is,
I
and ask me why I picked that as her birthday.
Right.
It's
Wait,
ridiculous.
I put something in the host chat real quick. We just for discussion, because we don't want it to be debatable. If there's a debate one way or the other, is her birthday yet this year?
Yes, it has already happened.
Okay, perfect. That's
so your
wonderful.
number in host chat is correct.
Perfect.
Because I did this year minus the year that she was born. That's how I got that number.
I am super
Because
impressed.
It has already happened.
Yeah,
we already have a.
Yeah, they're listening.
We have a number of people already, and credit to all of you. We can't give out prizes to all of you, but massive
Alex, shut
credits.
up. Alex don't get any.
Yeah, I mean, Alex can't even go to the party on Saturday. Alan's already going. She doesn't even go to this school. But Karen Murphy,
that's the first one I saw. Yeah,
was the first one. MHC,
a lot of really good guesses
27
too.
years. Yeah, nice job, Karen.
Right on.
I love it. Congratulations. Now, okay, so tell us when's Buna's birthday?
Yeah,
Buna's birthday is May 7th, 1896. And that is the day that H.H. Holmes, the World's Fair serial killer, was executed for his crimes.
Wow.
There is a working theory that whatever darkness had attached itself to him and made him do such terrible things latched on to Buna when she was born after he was executed, and then manipulated her into letting it out. Loose working theory, not canon.
Wow.
John hasn't approved that, is basically what it comes down to. Hey, John came up with this idea, and he was like, "Oh, that's interesting." And I was like, "Shit."
So it stays between us here.
Yeah. All right. So, folks, if you have stayed with us, as Tiela is going for her next little swig.
There we go.
I gotta say goodnight proper.
Yeah, but hold on. I'm gonna release what the TransWorld Live drink
Yes!
of the after party is going to be, and it is not. Yeah, it does not have.
Malort didn't make the cut.
Malort grapefruit juice is actually pretty all right.
I've heard it's good.
It cuts it a little bit. Malort, just Malort and grapefruit juice.
Okay, good to know. All right, so Robert, let's go ahead and flash it on the screen. This is it. The signature cocktail is going to be called the Live Wire. It is vodka, blue curacao, sweet and sour grenadine, and cranberry juice. And let me tell you, folks, it's going to go down very, very easy. And I know we've had a lot of discussion about lemons and lemonade and all the things. Well, here's the deal. There's more, right? There's going to be a couple more surprises throughout the weekend for you to get your zest on with us here at TransWorld Live. But how is there no lemon in this drink? Well, that is why, because there are a lot of other surprises.
There's more coming now.
Yeah. So the Live Wire is going to be that official drink. It'll go down nice, smooth, easy, keep you going all night long. And you can only get it at the Embassy Suites bar at the TransWorld Live after party on Friday and Saturday night. So make sure you're there. Yes. So
got to do it.
Yeah, you got to do it. It's going to be amazing. So if you have stuck with us this long, you get a prize, a gold star, all the way around. You guys, all of our amazing guests. You got to hear all of our amazing secrets. And guys, holy moly, there is so much more next week. Like, just you wait. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be amazing.
Nicole, with Tiela here, do we want to preview who's going to be on our final show before MHC?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Let's alternate on this one.
Okay.
All right. Because we've got another stacked lineup. Again, thanks for hanging out with us. We want to make sure you're prepared. And of course, we are going to have the founders of the feast themselves. Jen and Rich are going to be here to celebrate MHC Week.
MHC Week, it's going to be incredibly amazing. We've got Jennifer Luke from Graffiti FX.
Oh, we love her.
Cannot wait.
of course, from Ghost Ride Productions, Michael Shaley.
And then we've got Andy Martincello from Midnight Terror Haunted House.
Oh, yes. So excited.
Oh, wait, there's more.
There's 2 more. Can you believe this? Tim Rash from Soul Reaper's Haunted House.
And last but definitely not least, Peter Dunn from Twisted Crypt Haunted House.
What line?
Nice.
I know.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
damn.
amazing. Yeah.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
gonna be great.
Incredible.
Yeah. So the party doesn't stop. It's actually only just getting started. And like Tater says, when do we get the details of this after party? Well, some of it we're going to keep to ourselves, and you're
That's
going to have to be there. And it's going to be the most epic, talked about things that are happening. And if you think it's just going to be a couple of like tables and talking and all that, yes, that will be there. But
And
there
I'm
will
gonna
also
do
be.
a dumb wedding.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. You can be there Friday night. You can pregame with us.
I could pregame actually.
Exactly.
There you go. See?
But there is.
I'll
going
just
to
take the
be-
blue line.
Exactly.
There
If
you
you've ever
go.
been to a TransWorld party, imagine what a TransWorld after party is going to be like.
That's right. That's
Just
right.
saying. Just saying.
That's right. Bars
So-
open till 2.
Exactly. Make sure you're following all of our social media, and make sure you are double checking that MHC website, because we are pumping out so much content every little bit from here on out, and working hard to make sure that we are all ready to go for just 9 days from now, and the
Cannot believe
chaos,
it.
mayhem, and merriment that is about to be ensued on the Nicole M. Ginsburg Convention Center.
Love it. Love it. Can't wait.
Yes. But if you can't find that, you can also Google Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, and that'll get you to MHC. So there you go.
It hasn't gotten updated on Google yet. So yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All in due time. All in due time.
Yeah,
That's right.
Exactly.
Well,
What a great show,
Yeah.
guys.
Ooh, we got
And
Thanks.
thank you for like hanging out the entire night. Like,
yeah.
people in the green room, like ready to go, cheering
Oh,
people
yeah.
on in the comments and everything else.
I know, yeah,
Um,
no. When y'all said announced Emma got the award, I was like, yeah, slay! Like, welcome to the
I know.
club.
Yeah. Yeah. And so do we have any clue where it's going to be in the embassy?
We
Yes.
do.
Yes, we do. Yep.
Kimberlina, yep, right when you walk into the embassy to the left. It's going to be right there. You just get to follow your ears.
Yes. Well, thank you guys all so much.
Yep.
We love you all. Cannot wait to see you very soon. If you haven't bought your tickets for all the things and
Yep.
all of the wonderful things that are happening, this is your reminder to do so. If you haven't got your hotel room or any other tickets or bus tour tickets, all that,
That's right.
please do that tonight. We'll see you very, very soon.